Nice.
Magkano bilhin mo yun sa'yo?
Sa akin, like 599.
Oh, pwede na.
Okay lang, Batman sucks! Let's go! Tell me why you like it! Bakit? Nakainom na ako, wala na akong pake.
Where's the...
Ganyan.
Where is she? Where is she? Where's Rachel?
Go.
Ano rin na?
Yan na mga pre,
Hello!
we're live.
Alright, what's up? What's up? Welcome to another episode of Tambayang Talong. Episode 50 na tayo kung saan pag-uusapan natin ngayon ang latest Dark Knight movie, which is The Batman. Yun. So kasama natin yung iba-ibang klase. Iba-ibang variant ng Batman kasama natin ngayon.
Si Fatman.
Bat signal. Gago bat signal. Bat signal yung Batman. Anyway guys, for our episode today, makakasama namin si JM of Zero Hour Discussion.
Let's
So JM,
go!
kumusta? What's up? What's up? One of our certified TGANGs will be joining us today.
Finally.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much. Finally, I'm here in the TGANG headquarters online.
Let's go.
We're going to talk about the most hyped movie of 2022 for now.
That is
Oh.
For now, yes. That is true. I have to agree. It's the most type movie so far na nakuha natin. I guess 2021 kasi ang Spider-Man technically.
Spider-Man.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
so basically ito ating... Is this the first superhero movie we're getting this year?
It is.
Technically,
Technically.
Technically, tama, di ba? And then this is the only DC movie that we'll get this year. Tama ba?
Yes,
Correct me if
a
I'm
lot
wrong.
of DC properties got moved.
Yeah, got
Moved.
pushed. Mm.
Yeah. I think we have one sa dulo.
Nung to, Aquaman ba?
Late 2022. Yeah.
Really?
Aquaman?
Hindi, Aquaman and Flash na
No.
push eh.
Na-push.
Oh, yeah. Na-push sila.
Na-push sila. So I guess 2023 lahat na. Anyway, so, andito tayo. Guys, do your intro. Oh, Bat Signal. Ikaw muna.
Fuck you. Ayun na mga pre. Ako si Evander, si South Streamer ng Talong Gaming. Maraming salamat sa pagsama sa amin sa episode 50. Hanap! In 2 weeks, anniversary na natin.
Oh, shit.
Episode 50 ng ang tawag dyan, ng Tambayang Talong. Pag-usapan natin yung The Batman. Excited ako. Na-hype ako. Matagal ko nang gusto pag-usapan to eh. Pero, ang tawag mo dyan, parang maganda nga tong sinave natin tong araw na to kasi kasama natin, kompleto tayong lahat para pag-usapan tong The Batman. Kasi marami-rami tayong i-breakdown dito sa movie na to. Feeling ko, yun nga katulad ng sinabi ko nung isa to sa mga magagandang movie na pag-usapan pagkatapos nyo talaga panoorin. Kasi pwedeng nagustuhan nyo, pwedeng hindi. Kaya excited na ako malaman yung mga iniisip ng mga tropa natin. Yeah, let's go.
And ako naman, si Bruce Wayne. I'm telling you my identity because I'm already drinking alcohol. Pero salamat sa pagsubaybay nyo guys dito sa episode 50 namin. And I'm really excited pag-usapan tong The Batman. Kasi personally pare, a lot of my friends might be surprised that I may be on the other end of the spectrum on how they feel about this movie. So I really want to talk about it because, alam mo yun, this is what's good about really important and hype movies, that we get to talk about it. Kasi I think sometimes we get what do you call that? We get parang sumasakay lang tayo sa hype. And I really think now we should encourage people to really tell the people and tell their experiences kung talagang gusto nila talaga yung movie or hindi. Alam mo yun?
Tama.
Kasi there's a lot to talk about this movie and I think everything is valid from the positive to the negative.
Yep. And JM, go ahead. Introduce yourself first. For our, baka yung mga iba natin tigang di pa familiar with you.
Yeah, my name's JM Cruz and I am content creator, also movie
Let's go.
reviewer sometimes. I discuss some movies and also games over at Zero Hour Discussions. Big honor being here. I've been following you guys ever since nakita ko yung post nyo yun over at Podcast PH, and then nag-connect kami ni Ivan talking about stuff. Metal Gear, alam mo yun?
Definitely. Yes, sir.
And yung mga gusto namin mga babae in gaming recently. So, yes. Wach sound. So yun, that's basically what I do. I also talk to artists sometimes if I do have the time or if they have the time. So again, thank you so much to Tigang, Watch, Migo, and also Ivan for inviting me here. This is
Thank
going
you,
to be a
thank
very
you.
fun time.
Thank you for
This is
giving
going
us
to
your
be
time and joining us in our episode for today.
Exciting to, gago.
it's
and
going
guys,
to be a
don't
very
forget.
fun time.
Actually, pin mo dun sa question, Van, papin na lang ako.
Yeah.
Pin mo yung question ni Migo. Actually, itatype ko. Pin yung question ni Migo and then tatatag ko rin yung 0R para at least makita nila. So guys, they can
Yeah.
actually follow 0R.
Yes,
Zero
follow
discussions.
Zero Hour Discussions, guys.
Yes, guys.
I really like
Again-
yung episode ni GM with the critical drinker because I really like that guy.
Pagod
Kung hindi-
na ako nun. Pagod na ako. Sobra. Kasi I had 3 streams that day eh. Yun yung
Oh,
pinakahuli.
fuck.
And then, ano na yun, 12 p.m., 12 a.m. na yun man. Yung ano namin, house tour
wait.
na.
Syempre kasi iba yung
Umalis na nga si Ivan dun sa ano eh, review
Dun
namin
sa
ng
isa.
Resident Evil. After nun, mga ilang minuto, kami naman ni Drinker, sabi ko, I don't know kung gusto ko pa ituloy ito dahil pagod na ako. Pero don't get that
Great
opportunity.
episode though, pare. That's a really great episode.
Wala ako
Kasi those are the topics that aren't in the news cycle or alam mo yun, yung usual na nagsa-circulate na information. Kasi I think some people, alam mo yun, parang are really on that hype. Parang sumasakay sila sa sa trend, so to say. And
Yeah.
some voices really are being toned down. So I really enjoyed that. Kasi
We
I
might
feel
have
like I did that.
we might have a part 2 next time. Mag-uusap pa kami uli. But to be honest with you, Migo, you're a fan of him. I'm a big fan of The Drinker. And siguro kung hindi ko siya nakilala, I wouldn't be doing this now. Yun naman
Really?
sabi ko. Yeah.
Solid.
Nice. Solid. Good inspiration. Oh, see, Robin.
Robin,
Si
Robin,
paring Robin
Thank you
dito
so
na.
much for the 50 stars, Robin.
Salamat, man.
Robin, cheers, my friend.
Cheers to Robin.
Sa to?
Okay, tara, simulan natin yung discussion ng The Batman.
Let's
Okay.
talk about the Batman.
I guess before this episode aired, or like even at the start of our Tambayang Talong, ito lang isa sa pinaka-anticipated episode natin.
Yes, we
Based
talked
on the
about
movie
this
itself.
movie on the
Yeah,
first
and,
episodes.
On the first episode, on the years, basically, on our past 50 episodes, we've been talking about this movie and how excited we are to see this movie and get a chance to see Robert Pattinson.
Yes.
Diba? Para si Jobit
Robin
yan.
Padilla.
Si Robert Valdivino.
Si Robert Valdivino.
Tawag dito. To see Robert Pattinson's Batman, di ba? So now, we've actually seen it, all of us, four of us. What is our initial reaction regarding the movie itself and Robert Pattinson's Batman?
Okay.
I guess let's start with our guest.
Yes,
Oo.
JM.
Let's go, JM.
Okay.
And you have the floor.
So, unfortunately, I'm not like the fine gentleman na kasama ko ngayon na panood nila the first day. I've watched it on Sunday, previous week. And just like you guys, I think all of us are a fan of Batman, obviously.
Yeah.
So we won't be talking this much talaga regarding him and also the history if we didn't like him. And I went into this movie with very low expectations. Number one, kasi I was waiting for Ben Affleck's version of the Batman.
Oo.
And I'm a big fan of the Arkham series. We already saw the storyboard. I think nakita na rin kung anong balak niyang gawin with I think with Deathstroke and Court of the Owls. So I was invested in knowing that, and then biglang kinancel for some reason. Parang umayaw na siya in the project. Now first and foremost, hindi ako fan ni Robert Pattinson bago pumasok dito, hindi ako fan because hindi bagay sa tingin ko, pero he has the acting skills. So I gave it the benefit of the doubt. And to be honest, I like Robert Pattinson's Batman version.
Okay.
But it doesn't mean it doesn't have any problems.
Okay.
It has a lot
That's
of
fair.
problems. Yeah, so as far as the movie is concerned, there are a lot of holes na nangyayari dun sa movie. I think we're going to discuss that later. But overall, did I like it? Tanong niyan, inimigo doon sa chat, did I like it? Yes, I like it to a point. But did I also hate it? Definitely, there are parts that I really hate a lot. But okay, so I think that's my answer for that right now.
All right. Good.
I feel you,
Migo,
pare.
go ahead.
Ako pare, before I start, I want to tell people that I'm actually a huge Robert Pattinson fan. In fact, I was Team Edward way back then.
Ulul!
Oh, pare. So, alam mo, disclaimer lang, if you guys are going to hate on me, if ever may masabi ako later on, I'm a huge Robert Pattinson fan. I was a fanboy. Seriously.
Ah,
I don't know. I was the right demographic at that time.
mhm.
And it was just a movie that was just fun to watch at that age of mine back then in high school. So I just really enjoyed him. And also to see Robert Pattinson evolve his acting skills throughout the years. Syempre, let's talk about Lighthouse. He was such a great actor
Yes.
there
Yung si Willem Dafoe, kasama
working
niyo ba?
alongside. Yeah,
Yes.
alongside William
It's
Dafoe.
a good movie.
Exactly. At the same time, I also want to credit him to be in Tenet. I believe that in Tenet,
Yes.
he really outacted everyone in that movie. I think na yun yung parang pinaka-opening for everyone to see that Robert Pattinson is really a legit actor.
Mhm.
Na hindi lang siya parang si Edward Cullen. Kumbaga doon niya na peel off yung facade or yung image na I'm a vampire, alam mo yun. That he's
Na
really, alam mo,
kumikinang. Kumikinang ina mo.
yeah, that he's really a great actor. I see him walking along the lines of being one of
Ah,
the future Leonardo DiCaprio's down in the future. I really
okay.
that's how much I believe in this in him in as an actor. That being said, I really didn't enjoy his Batman. That doesn't mean to say na hindi ko gusto yung movie.
Oo.
I enjoyed the movie. But let's talk about that later nga. But just to set the table, masasabi ko lang na yung Batman niya is quite boring because it's just too one-dimensional.
Ito.
Mhm. Yeah, I agree.
So I would say that much. I like the movie, but him as the Batman, I didn't enjoy it. I see why they went that direction. It makes sense. But I just didn't enjoy it because it was too one-dimensional, hence kind of boring. So
Okay.
that's me setting the table. Let's talk about it more in detail in a bit.
Okay.
Okay, go, Van. Go.
Ako naman, pre. Nagustuhan ko hype tayo lahat dito sa The Batman, pare. So, pero para iklian ko na lang din kasi nasabi na rin ni JM tsaka ni Migo. Basically, pare-pares kami ng inisip, pare. Nagustuhan ko 'tong movie na to, pero may mga bagay na hindi nag-work eh. Parang hindi ako na-wow dun sa movie na to. Siguro kasi mataas yung expectations ko, pero feeling ko mali ko na yun na nag-set ako ng ganong kataas na expectations for this movie. Pero at the same time, yung Batman din ni Robert Pattinson, ito yung masasabi ko, magaling yung pagkaka-act ni Robert Pattinson dito sa movie.
Yes,
Yeah,
Kumbaga,
definitely.
kung yung binigay niya
It's
talaga
not
yung
his
kaya
fault,
niya para
basically.
sa
It's not
movie.
his fault.
Oo. Pero kung paano kasi sinulat si Batman dito sa
There you go.
movie na to, hindi ko siya nagustuhan personally. Kasi yun nga yung question doon parang kasalanan ba natin? Oo, siguro dahil parang alam natin kung sino si Batman, tsaka basically nagkaroon na tayo ng iba't ibang forms sa media ni Batman, kaya familiar na tayo doon sa character. Pero at the
Mhm.
same time, yun nga katulad ng binanggit mo kanina, Migo, nung bago nung show, yun nga yung challenge Parang dapat alam na nila kung anong gagawin nila going into the movie kasi sikat nga si Batman. So parang hindi lang sa akin nag-work yung ginawa nila dito kasi si Bruce Wayne tsaka si Batman dapat magkaiba silang characters, pero for some reason dito sa movie na to iisa lang sila. Nakita ko rin interview ni Robert Pattinson, na gets ko kung bakit nila ginawa yun for this movie, pero parang at the same time hindi ko rin masabi na matanggap ko yung reason nila na yun kasi meron nga akong ibang pananaw tungkol kay Batman tsaka kung paano siya dapat naitungo para dun sa character, para dun sa movie na to kasi may mini-build up sila dun sa first part ng movie na nag-fall short para sa akin dun sa dun sa dulo which is yung characterization nga ni Batman. Pero yun nga, pag-usapan natin yun mamaya.
Alright. Sa akin naman, The Batman itself, the movie, I liked it. I really do enjoy it.
Me too.
However, it's not the best, in my opinion, sabihin ko na, it's
Hindi.
not the best Batman movie out
Oh.
there. It's not. So if
It's
you guys
top
are thinking, it's not the best Batman movie, I would say that. So I guess a lot of people would compare it to The Dark Knight, but as of the moment, ngayon sabihin ko hindi mo yun. Anyway, Robert Pattinson's Batman, never was a fan of Robert Pattinson until tama si Migo was Tenet. But before I watched Tenet, napanood ko isa niyang movie which was Good Times.
Good Times
He was
is good.
incredible there. He was
Yeah.
very incredible there.
Mm.
Ang hindi ko napanood prior to this movie, nasasayangan ako is forgot that movie. Basta there's this movie na isa pang magandang movie ni Robert Pattinson. I forgot ko ano yung Cosmopolis, yeah, that one. Hindi ko siya napanood prior to watching The Batman, but I heard good reviews regarding it. But yeah, Tenet, The Lighthouse, and Good Times, dun makikita mo na quality actor siya. And also The King, magaling siya dun.
Siya yung French na ano dun, di ba?
Yeah, even if it's small sample size. So, in terms of acting skills ni Robert Pattinson, I don't think na magpo-fall off short siya. When I've seen
hindi. Maganda yung acting niya eh.
Maganda. Yeah, maganda. All I'm saying is this. When I've watched The Batman, paglabas ko ng cinema, I didn't like The Batman that I saw. However, after a week of letting it marinate, medyo masabi ko, this Batman right here is actually a new Batman, in my opinion.
Yes.
This is a very new Batman, which I would say is the Batman. Tama si Migo, sabi niya, na bagay sa universe na to. However, not everyone would like them. So personally, this Batman iteration that we have right now as Robert Pattinson is actually good. It's actually good. However, yun nga lang, hindi yung Batman na expect natin. Yeah, it's there. I doubt that the potential is there, but I would like to say that the Batman that we have here is actually good now. For me, after letting it marinate. Pero paglabas ko ng cinema, I was fucked up. It was like, fuck, sino to? Puta, sino pinapanood ko na bago? Sino tong Batman na to? Pero after a few hours, tsaka napag-usap tayo prior to it, and then after a week of letting it sink in, think about it with the environment, everything, dude, this Batman is actually good. Speaking of that, may nagsabi dito, Chito Villanueva.
That's my pare. Chito is my good friend. He's also a huge Batman fan.
Nice. Sabi niya, Robert Pattinson is now my number one live action Batman, which in my opinion is a bold statement to say today. Pero Chito, I'd like to hear your opinion regarding that. Sorry, Keaton and Bale, can't wait for a sequel. Yeah, ayun. I have to disagree with all these takes, but that's just how I feel about the second, even after the second viewing. So fan talaga siya.
Yung movie na to polarizing, Medyo.
Ito yung sabihin ko sa'yo, Chito. Ako rin gusto pa siya panoorin second showing. Dapat nga before this episode, manonood ako ulit ng second viewing. Problem is, hindi ko na panood. Pero lagi ko siya sabi kila Ivan, baka mas maganda ang score ko going up rather than stay mo lang dito, bababa. Pero more of like going up regarding the Batman itself. So yeah, I'd like to hear more of your comments.
Yes. Ako dalawang beses ko siya pinanood eh. Nag-stay the same yung score, actually.
Stay the same score. Alright. So, ito, may comment din si Anthony. Sabi niya, Battinson did good, pero IMO Keaton pa rin as Batsy, the Nolan trilogy overall. TDK set the bar too high. Yeah, he's right about that. Yeah, the Dark Knight, yeah. In terms of movie and all, I guess in terms of movie, generally movie, mataas ang sinet ng bar ng
sobra.
The Dark
Knight.
Anyway, let's talk about first the good stuff.
Okay.
Para mas juicy yung magiging negative stuff regarding
this. Mamaya natin breakdown ng sobra.
Yes.
So, good stuff to this movie.
Dude, I love how they integrated the DNA of the Snyderverse and the Nolanverse in this movie. Kasi for me, there's this really good mix of the realism ng Nolanverse. At the same time, yung parang tone ng darkness ng Snyderverse sa movie to. Kumbaga, the way they molded those two DNAs together somehow worked very well with me. At the same time, yung ginamit nilang genre to interpret that combination of DNA is so perfect, which is kind of like this neo-noir detective story. It's definitely fresh and unique, especially in this Batman movie that we got. I'll say this much. I really like how this Batman movie was so bold enough to try not to repeat everything that made all Batman franchises succeed before. They really didn't play safe. They really wanted to try something new, something fresh, to interpret something in the Batman that we usually see in comic books and video games. That being said, before we go to the negatives, I really like those stuff kasi it's just fresh and unique because it's showing more people, especially yung mga hindi ganun ka huge fans, even casual fans, they're showing them more sides of this character. Kumbaga, they're really servicing the entire mythology of Batman in all media kung paano siya. Kasi uh, there's a lot of idea on who Batman is, right? There's Nolan with Christian Bale, and then there's also a darker one dito kay Ben Affleck. At the
Tim
same time,
Burton.
yeah, in the Tim Burton verse also, we also have the video games, we also have the comic books. I like how this movie that didn't just go doon sa usual formula ng Batman. They really wanted to tell this new side of Batman. And if I'm going to be honest, this is the roots, the bread and butter of Batman in comic books before. At least in tone, at least in pace, at least in the detective work.
Oo.
And also the darkness. Alam mo yun, how they really show the darkness, the sadness, alam mo yun. And even how they played Gotham City to be
Yeah.
somewhat of a third character in
It's
the
a
entire
character.
movie. Right?
Yes.
There you go. Kasi sa ibang movies, I feel like Gotham is just a place where things happen. Dito sa movie to, it feels like Gotham is also a character that has
Part of
a
it.
trajectory. That also has a trajectory from the fall to trying to, alam mo yung wreckage from the war, doon sa parang wreckage nung sa darkness na nangyayari kasi bumagsak yung city. And also the eventual, which I hope, eventually, the eventual rise, which Batman will lead them.
Oo.
So that's what I really like about this movie because it's a new Batman. They integrated Gotham really well. And at the same time, they really took a lot of risks by not using all of the things that we are or the usual customer is accustomed to on what a quote unquote Batman movie is, which I really, really appreciate. And for me, as a movie fan, I really always want to push movies that do those kinds of risks. Kasi I hate it when movies try to be safe that usually just recycle formulas.
Yeah.
Kumbaga, I like this movie because they are risky that way and because they want to take the genre and the franchise in a different direction than before. For me, yung pag-switch ng genre na to at saka ng direction is much bigger or even if you might say as equal doon sa direction ng ginawa ni Nolan from the wacky Batman old movies before to the Nolan verse na parang yung ganong direction ng franchise to from
It
that
is.
franchise to ano,
It is. It's a
right?
different. It's
To
basically a
now.
change.
Kumbaga, I love that they're trying to push for this franchise to evolve. At least that I'll give it that much props kasi I can see and I'm confident that this franchise is not gonna die down anytime soon in the future because
Hindi.
it keeps evolving and I love it that they're doing it that way.
What about you, Jim?
There are lots of stuff you'd like from this movie. Mostly sinabi na ni Migo, so I'm going to echo the sentiment there. And I would agree na the most underrated part of this one is how they managed to pull off Gotham in a sense
Yes.
na it's not the same Gotham na makikita mo sa iba. You do have the Burton verse na ginamit na yung Gotham in a very comedic way. Tapos sa kay Nolan na para siyang ewan ko New York City at yung itsura ng doon ng Gotham doon. But they use Gotham here as a third character. And marami ako nagustuhan na mahirap talaga explain. That would be one of the most underrated ones. I also like how they treated the action scenes on this. Most of the action scenes are great. If you're a big fan of Arkham City or even the Arkham games in general, magugustuhan nila yun. Alam na niya iba niya sasabihin ko eh. But yeah, it does feel like Arkham in some way. Lalo na yung unang part. The first
Totoo.
time nakita siya ng mga thugs.
Yes.
They surrounded him immediately. Sabi ko po siya, they're taking something out of Arkham games dito. But also, the other characters, they had their time to shine, to be honest. May iba na hindi. May iba na talaga nag-shine. May iba na parang, bakit nandiyan ka lang? May iba naman na hindi ko talaga nagustuhan.
Oo.
And I'll probably say yung mga hindi ko nagustuhan mamaya. But
Oh.
again, Batman, Robert Pattinson as Batman, he did a great job. Is it on my top 3? Probably not at this point. I still would rank Michael Keaton over him for some reasons. Mamaya, I'm going to say it.
Okay.
But also Zoe Kravitz as the Catwoman, he's up there. She's up there. Maganda yung pagkakaano niya ng Catwoman. But is it the Catwoman na gusto ko? That's a different thing.
Mamaya pag-usapan natin. Excited din ako pag-usapan
Pero
yan.
maganda yung everything maganda talaga. The only thing negative na kagad. But the only thing that I have to say regarding this, and nasabi na rin namin lahat kanina, this movie is not for everyone talaga. Yep. That's why we have polarizing opinions about it. But again, it's a good movie. That's all I could say right now. It's a good movie.
It's a good movie because it's polarizing. It's not trying to please everyone.
Yeah, it's not trying to please anyone. And the fresh takes na sinasabi mo, Migo, most of it, ngayon na sinabi mo, yes, I would agree. Talaga. They're taking it in a different direction. Even against Nolan, na parang gusto nilang one-upin si Nolan, they admitted it, na they wanted this to be better than Nolan. Again, subjective, mas maganda or hindi. But, sabihin natin dun sa Batman versus Superman, mas maganda to, definitely.
Oh, yeah.
Malayo.
So, yun siguro yung take ko on the good stuff. And I'll let you guys extrapolate more para mas maganda rin.
Okay. Ako pare, nagustuhan ko dito sa movie na to is yung style basically. Kasi yun nga yung neo noir na movie. Hindi natin nakita si Batman ng ganito sa movies before. Na basically ina-analyze niya or parang tinitignan niya talaga kung paano gumagalaw yung kalaban niya. Na sobrang na-enjoy ko kasi nakuha lang natin yan from the comics and also the video games pare. Na yung parang nakikita natin dun sa movie na may cipher. Although, you could argue na hindi naman siya yung gumagawa ng detective work si Alfred eh. Pero at the same time, parang kung if napanood nyo na yung Seven, na maraming tao na feeling ko na nagko-compare dito sa movie na to dahil neo-noir siya na type na movie. If fan ka ng ganun, sobrang may enjoy mo siya. Parang nakita mo yung side ni Batman na mas matalino kaysa dun sa other movies. Yun lang yung masasabi ko siguro. Parang nagustuhan ko from parang magsiset apart dito. Parang kahit papano dun sa yung detective style nga, parang mas matalino siya si Batman dito kumpara dun sa ibang Batman movies. And also nagustuhan ko pare yung supporting characters dito. Feeling ko hindi lang ako yung yung na ganito yung iniisip na feeling ko yung mga supporting characters mas maganda kaysa kay Batman nga. Doon dito sa movie na to.
That's a fair statement.
Lalo na si Penguin tsaka si Riddler pare. Sobrang gusto ko yung acting ng both na yung performance ng both actors ayun si Colin Farrell tsaka si Paul Dano. Pare, nag-disappear sila dun sa character na yun. Kasi, madali na sabihin yung tone. Kasi yun talaga pinakaiba dito sa movie na to compared dun sa ibang Batman movies. Pero you have to look at the performance of each character dito sa movie na to. Kasi sobrang galing nila, sobrang bagay nila para dun sa part nila dito sa movie na to. Hindi ko lang alam kung mamaya na natin pag-usapan yung characters kaya medyo pigil pa yung sinasabi ko about the characters. Pero basically yun yung nagustuhan ko. Yung tone or yung genre na ginawa nila for this movie and also the supporting characters na nilagay nila for this movie na feeling ko kaya mas gumanda yung The Batman dahil naangat ng mga supporting characters yung lead.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So yun yung masasabi ko pare. Yun yung nagustuhan ko about this movie.
For me naman, I'll just sum up yung mga sinabi nyo. I have to agree on everything. The best part na na-enjoy ko dito was basically the freshness of it. Yung bago. Like sabi ni Migo, this is a great combination of the video game and all the other Batmans. But I guess the dark side of basically yung dark tone na meron to. The reason why I love Batfleck or Batman's Affleck's Batman was because this was the tone they were trying to show before. And it's so sad na hindi natin nakuha.
Oo nga eh. Sobrang lulungkot ako, man.
Yeah, to be honest, yung small sample size na meron tayo kay Batman as Ben Affleck as Batman, for me, he is basically my number one live action Batman. I'm going to say it now. He is my number one live action Batman and also Bruce Wayne. Siya yung
Sino? Sorry?
Ben Affleck.
Same.
Kaya ako medyo nalulungkot. But anyway, the reason why sobrang na-enjoy ko to kasi ang dark nito. Dark to the point na hindi mo i-expect si Batman ipapakita nilang ganito. And it's really, really, really interesting and at the same time, for me, it's captivating. in my opinion, na parang, wow,
That's a great word.
napakita nila to at this sense. Also, I have to agree with Ivan na, well, not literally buhat, pero I would say that walang tapo na supporting cast dito. I loved all the supporting cast here, even with Alfred having a small, I should say now, a very small ng mga scenes. But I guess those scenes were actually the ones that really mattered in terms of the Bruce Wayne alter ego. We'll get to that later. We'll get to that more later. So yeah, it's about the tone, it's about the characters, and tama rin kayo regarding sa Gotham na it really played a big part in this movie. Overall, the positive, I guess, it's more of the overall stuff of the Batman's vibe ang masasabi kong pinaka-positive regarding this one.
The world building. So
the world building, yeah. Also the world building. Speaking of the world building, magkakaroon ng The Penguin in Arkham Asylum, which I'm very excited about. And the ones that we're gonna get here are something hindi, it's very ground, alam mo, iba yung realistic sa grounded I would say. So I guess this word, it's very grounded. Na parang kung magkakaroon ng totoong Batman, most likely ito yung magiging itsura niya. Nolan was realistic in a sense na, okay, nothing was out of shit in those movies, that they were possible. Everything there was possible. But I guess this movie was much more grounded kasi talagang mas may chance ang ito yung Batman na makukuha natin in real life.
Actually, naniniwala ako.
That's a good way to frame. Yeah.
So I guess that's the one of the positivity of this Batman for me. It's basically, tangin na kung meron talagang baliw na mayaman na sobrang traumatic, ito magiging itsura niya most likely. Even with the cars and stuff. Yeah, that's my take on the positive of the Batman. Now let's go to, shall we go with the negatives or shall we go with the characters first?
Yung characters muna, feeling ko
Let's go with the characters. Let's go with the characters, Let's talk about the characters. Let's start. Let's since nasimula si Robert Pattinson, lagay mo natin siya on the side. Let's start with the supporting cast muna.
Ulihin na natin si ano.
Yeah, si Robert Pattinson. So sa supporting cast ng The Batman, sino yung, I would say na, let's start first with something good. Yung pinaka nagustuhan nyo, which was the highlight for you.
I really want to talk about the Riddler in this movie.
Riddler, yes.
Because I think that this is the Riddler's movie, honestly. For me, on my one viewing of the movie, I feel like the Riddler won the war. Kasi if you try to, so we're gonna talk about spoilers dito sa movie. If you try to think about what happened at the end of the movie when Batman was trying to beat up one of the followers of Riddler, and then they were asking him who he was. The guy said that he was Vengeance. That is to say that the Batman was in a somewhat mission with vengeance in mind. So, pwede mong sabihin na cliche siya kasi may kasabihan na once you go on a mission on vengeance, you must dig 2 graves. That means eventually, kung yun yung layunin mo, na you're just in it for the revenge, you're eventually gonna lose. And that's what's beautiful in this movie, that Bruce and Batman really saw that his current path of destruction on what he thought was right was actually wrong.
Yes, totoo yun.
Which, in turn, in the end of the movie, Batman said na parang, I have to be more.
Yeah.
Basically, saying na he needs to be more than vengeance. Kumbaga dito na yung path niya on being the vengeance from being the hope of Gotham.
That was a turning point.
Yes.
Oh, wait lang. By the way, ewan ko, Ivan, kung napansin mo. Did you see the yung sinabi yung I am vengeance, the shock in his eyes?
Yeah. I love that so much.
Yung parang natakot siya, na parang, oh shit. Then yung parang feeling turning point sa akin na parang, okay.
Ito yung tumatak sa mga tao.
I fucked up. So with that said, that's why I can say na ang favorite quote-unquote other characters ko besides Batman in this movie is the Riddler, because I really think that Riddler in this movie, if you're gonna encapsulate it in this story, Riddler entirely won the movie, because Batman started this kind of quote-unquote war with vengeance in mind, yet the Riddler on the other side of the end, yung opposition niya, used that idea of Batman na iniisip niya na, akala mo, this is how you're gonna change the city? You think you're gonna change the city by being vengeance? I'm gonna use this against you to build my
Totoo.
own agenda.
Totoo.
Which ultimately makes Riddler win in the movie. That's what I feel with
Totoo.
one viewing of it. So I really like the Riddler in this movie, not just because of how he really parang outplayed Batman in an ideological sense, but also on how they portrayed him to be somewhat of the quote-unquote Joker in this movie. What do I mean by that? What I meant by that is that si Joker sa mga ibang iterations in other medias, sinasabi lagi ni Joker na, you made me, alam mo yun? So,
Ah.
alam mo yun, encapsulated na phrase na, hey, you made me who I am. Kumbaga, I'm here because you're there. You started this, parang ganun. I really love how this movie played or showed na the Riddler came to be because of Batman. And with that said, it really made this parang diversion or parang U-turn or like sharp left turn on the story where usually sanay tayo na yung ganitong makikita nating villain is si Joker. Kumbaga the villain that Batman is always going to make is the Joker.
Yung parang
But
pure
in this movie,
anarchy lang si Joker
yeah, but
talaga eh.
exactly. But in this movie, Batman somewhat created the Riddler, which is so amazing. And for me, actually, I really wish that they should have just stuck in this direction. Na parang, you know what? Let's give Riddler his series or his trilogy of movies na siya yung main nemesis ni Batman. Because why not? Alam mo yun?
Ah.
Paul Dano acted his ass off in this
Galing.
movie. It really gave this character his own life. And I will say na for me personally, at least sa cinematic universe ng Batman, I think the only character and actor that came close to Heath Ledger's Joker is Paul Dano. That's
Mm.
how much praise I will give him, honestly. Because he's just that amazing in how he made this character his own,
Mhm.
how he interpreted it in a new direction, and at the same time, how much impact he did in Batman in one movie. At the same time, he won in that battle.
Ah.
So that's how much I'll say about the Riddler.
Totoo, men. Ako, iniisip ko kasi feeling ko, parang nasa top natin lahat yung si Riddler. Pero siguro sasabihin ko yung isa sa mga nagustuhan ko talaga dito na characters, pare. Well, in terms of performance, pare, si Penguin talaga.
Penguin.
Kasi, si Colin Farrell, nag-disappear siya into the character, pare. Hindi, regardless kung merong prosthetics na nakalagay, nawala talaga siya, hindi mo malalaman na siya yun, not unless sinabi dun sa credits or alam mo na, nalaman mo na yung announcement na si Colin Farrell yung nag-act. Hindi mo talaga malalaman na siya yun. Ang galing lang nung pagkakatrato nila dun sa performance niya dun kay Penguin. At the same time, yung character mismo ni Penguin dito na kakaiba siya dun kasi yun nga lagi natin mako-compare to dun sa previous Batman movies and also kahit sa Gotham, although nagustuhan ko kung napanood yun yung Gotham na TV series, ang galing ng Penguin dun, pero for some reason mas gusto ko yung Penguin dito sa The Batman kasi pinakita nila na tough din si Penguin pero hindi siya yung sobrang baliw na parang unrealistic na din na pinakita nila sa Gotham kung napanood niyo yung series na yun. Dito parang nilalaro niya lang yung role niya as yung parang kanang kamay ni Falcone, pero ginagawa niya yun kasi alam niya na may hinihintay siya na maging siya yung yung parang godfather basically ng buong nung buong Gotham City. So nakita mo yun pagdating dun sa dulo na parang nung una kala mo parang inalaki lang siya ni Falcone, pero pagdating na doon sa dulo ng movie na alam mo na hindi matagal niya nang inaantay ito. Hinihintay niya na magkamali si Falcone kahit na parang pinakita lang na hindi, tinrider ako ikaw yung rat, ikaw yung basically nagsumbong dun sa mga pulis kung ano nangyari kung bakit na take down yung buong yung Maroni crime family ba, tama ba?
Yeah. Yes.
So parang basically doon lang daw siya nag-turn. Pero kung titignan mo siya sa buong movie, gago, alam mo doon sa character na hinihintay niya na yun doon sa start ng movie. Kaya doon sa transition niya papunta doon sa quote unquote penguin talaga na nakilala natin from the video games and comics doon sa dulo ng movie, sobrang satisfying, pare. Kaya sabi ko si Penguin siguro. Well, yun nga, si Riddler yung top natin feeling ko sa lahat ng supporting characters, pero kailangan ko lang bigyan ng shoutout si Penguin para dito sa movie na to. Bago ko rin tapusin, gusto ko lang sabihin din kay Riddler, kasi since sasabi na pare yung 'di ba, the whole time parang for most of the movie nakamask si Paul Dano. So nakikita mo lang yung mata niya tsaka yung syempre yung kung paano siya magsalita. Gago, ang galing nung parang paghiwalay nung Riddler persona niya papunta doon sa parang, hindi ko alam kung Edward Nigma yung pangalan niya dito sa movie na to. Pero doon sa tao na personality niya, kasi parang doon sa, yun nga, parang na-point out may nagsasalita na siya doon sa followers niya. Doon sa parang video niya na parang mahiya, parang hindi mo alam kung mahiyain siya, parang bigla siyang naging vlogger na ewan doon sa
He's
video
like a school shooter.
Oo, para siyang ganun. Tapos yung persona niya as the Riddler parang sobrang iba, pare. Tapos pagdating mo dun sa Riddler, alam mo, honestly, mas nakakatakot pa yung Riddler na nawalan ng mask. Parang nung kausap siya dun sa kulungan, dun sa Arkham, nung nag-uusap na sila ni Batman, parang mas natakot pa ako sa kanya dun kaysa dun sa ang tawag dyan, dun sa part na pinapakita niya na siya si Riddler na nakamask. Parang sa akin sobrang galing lang ng acting ni Paul Dano doon, kasi nagawa niya na, alam mo yun, yung doon sa first part ng movie na sobrang expressive ng eyes niya, kasi yun nga lang yung nakikita sa kanya, and also yung kung paano siya magsalita. Tapos pagdating doon sa third act ng movie na parang sobrang patay ng mata niya, na feeling mo, alam mo na psychopath tong kausap mo, pare, na tangina, papatayin ka nito dahil meron siyang iniisip, yung ideology siya, hindi mo na mapapalitan kasi iniisip niya, tama na siya, gago. Basically, tinulungan mo siya na i-build yung character na to, si Riddler. Tapos ganun yung pinakita niya doon sa dulo doon sa third act. Galing.
What about you, Jim?
I think I'm in agreement with all two so far. Si Wach hindi pa nagsasabta. So I would agree na number one supporting actor here would be the Riddler. Even though na hindi ko siya ganun kagusto, you could only create a very good hero if your main antagonist is equally as brutal or even as good as him. So yung idea nila dito from Riddler is a far departure from what we've really known Riddler as. Even comic book wise, game wise, kaya medyo naasar ako nakita ko. Oh yeah, so we're not following the traditional. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Pero yun nga napansin ko when I was watching it, it does make sense na maganda yung yung setup sa kanya. The writing with him was good. I didn't like the sorry guys, but I didn't like the costume for some reason.
Okay.
It felt to be very
Yeah,
it's not the best. It felt to be a different opponent ni Batman. And mamaya sabihin ko kung sino. I think Wach knows kung sino na yun. But yun nga, the main ideology na meron siya, it's very scary na someone, sabi natin interrogation room, that person will tell you na you created me.
Yeah.
Okay. So yung mismo na lang na yun, doon ako nagising na, yeah, this character, I should give him more credit than yung mga iniisip ko throughout nung 2 hours na pinapanood ko. Actually, yun yung turning point ko dun sa movie. Yung whole interrogation scene na yun. Kasi before that, parang, this seems to be an okay movie. Maganda siya, pero I had yet to see something good na makikita na parang, this is the defining moment. Kasi when we're talking about Batman Begins, may ganun may mga defining moments siya dahil kay Ra's al Ghul nung nagpakita na siya kung sino na talaga siya. Or we're talking about The Dark Knight. Same din, interrogation din. And also yung nakasabit, di ba sinabi ni Batman si Joker. Yeah. So, and The Dark Knight Rises, though medyo lacking siya in a sense, nakita natin kung gaano ka-brutal talaga si Bane. Diba? And knowing na ganun si Bane, na parang, they followed some sort of formula na matalino talaga si Bane. He did this plan na, this is what I really want to do. I really want to destroy Gotham talaga. And out of the ashes, there's going to be a new communistic society or whatever na gusto niyang gawin. Dito, parang, yung pinakahuling part talaga, at least itong part na to, it was enough for me to justify na I should place, tama ka Miko, I should place the regular version of Paul Dano probably after Heath Ledger's Joker. And I would also agree with Ivan pagdating kay Penguin kasi ang ganda ng talaga ng performance niya except for some plot holes na nangyari dun sa parts niya. Maganda rin performance and I would have loved to see more of him talaga in this movie.
And we are.
And ayun, Jeffrey Wright as as a Detective Gordon, not commissioner pa at this point.
Lieutenant pa lang ata siya dito.
Lieutenant pa siya?
Alam ko
Hindi ko na
lieutenant
maalala. Ang dami nangyari nun. Lieutenant siya. Yeah, I think that. Dahil, ayun nga, hindi ko siya masyado nagustuhan. He played the part good as Jeffrey Wright. Yun ang masabi ko. Maganda yung performance niya, acting niya. Also, another thing na nagustuhan ko is Catwoman. I guess siguro, I just enjoyed kung paano ginawa ni Zoe Kravitz yung character niya. Despite some flaws, she was able to give justice kung sino si Catwoman. Is it comparable to what we have with Anne Hathaway? It's apples and oranges, but I still enjoy Anne Hathaway's version a bit more.
Same.
So, yun yung yung general insight ko. Alam ko, katulad yung sinabi ko kanina, there are a lot of characters in this one. And may mga stand out katulad ng mga yon. Meron mga parang nandun lang sa stable lang sila. Hindi sila umakit talaga. But the good thing is, katulad ng sinabi ng tatlo, walang tapon. Yun yung maganda.
By the way, fun fact, Ivan, the actor of Falcone, he never found out. Yeah, he never found out na si
Falcone yung niya, character.
What's his name again? Fuck, I'm blanking as of the moment. Si Penguin.
Penguin, Colin Farrell.
I never knew it was Colin Farrell.
Ulul. Di ba?
Yeah, he never found
sobrang
out.
nag-disappear siya dun sa character niya,
A lot
literally.
of people didn't know it was Colin Farrell.
Pero ito katrabaho na niya.
Pare, nung first time lumalabas yung mga pictures ni Penguin, di ba lahat ng tao siya sabi, tangina sino yung bagong sino yung bagong actor na yan? Nobody knew. It was until nirelease nila personally na, okay, Colin Farrell's playing the Penguin. Even Jeffrey Wright, there was a scene. I think there was a scene na may scene na
lang daw niya.
Na may gagawin siya ni Colin Farrell. Tapos kinakausap siya and he was asking everyone parang, tangin na magsisina kami ni Colin Farrell, nasan siya?
Yeah.
Pero putang ina.
Katabi niya na lang. Katabi niya na.
Katabi lang yan. Nilakpasan niya. So, ganun kagaling yun. For me naman, I just have to add, honestly, Mika tama, Riddler won in this whole movie. In this whole movie, Batman lost. If you've noticed it. In terms of this movie, he won literally kung naman yung goal niya. So I have to add. In terms of the characters, I have to say na favorite ko or the person I really like. Since sasabi na yung dalawa, Penguin and Riddler. Those are the ones that I really like. Catwoman, though, I honestly believe this is the best Catwoman iteration for me.
Okay.
I liked her more. I enjoyed this one more than Anne Hathaway. Anne Hathaway was fun. But this one, meron siyang much more flavor in my opinion. I like the cut. I like how she looks. I like how she fights. All her fight scenes were amazing. Yung kay Anne Hathaway kasi medyo parang hindi siya athletic enough to do it.
Parang forced.
So,
Okay.
Parang forced, yeah.
Yes.
It was so forced in my opinion. Pero dito na si Nina Kylie, I saw was someone that's really athletic. Alam mo yun, talagang may galaw siya as a fighter too. And at the same time, yung character niya dito, sobrang palaban niya dito in my opinion. And I like the chemistry of
yeah, undeniably. Yun ang hindi ma-deny mo dito.
May chemistry silang dalawa.
Grabe yung chemistry na. The chemistry na never mo nakuha kay Christian Bale and Anne Hathaway.
Totoo. Yun yung maganda pag-usapan. Hindi, kahit kay Rachel tsaka kay Christian Bale, hindi ko rin naramdaman yan.
Yeah, I love that trilogy, parang di lang bagay magkaroon ng love for some reason si Bruce Wayne dun. I don't know.
Hindi ako nagkaroon ng sa kanila dun, yung chemistry
It's
nila.
your point there. Parang sa Nolan trilogy, parang si Batman yung mas in love lagi.
Mga soldier of love.
Yeah, it's never a two-way street with him and them.
With women.
Parang ako lang.
Easy.
Ewan ko kung dapat kailangan may love. Actually, iniisip ko kung dapat ba may love aspect yung Christopher Nolan. Ewan ko,
It could do without. It could do without.
Yun nga diba? Pero I guess for this live action, pinipilit na meron siyang Batman always has this girl like Vicky Vale and Michael Keaton.
Yun, may chemistry.
Actually, Vicky Vale and
meron.
Michael Keaton. May chemistry compared kay Michelle Pfeiffer. Tama?
Oh, yeah.
And then, ito rin, Val Kilmer and Nicole Kidman.
You,
Parang
Ano?
ayoko na pag-usapan yung movies na yun, men. Bas basura kasi.
Yeah, it's unforgettable. I mean, to be honest, it's forgettable. But the thing is, in my opinion, Val Kilmer and Nicole Kidman, medyo meron pa silang parang appeal compared talaga
compared to Bale. Kay Bale,
Kung Bale, di ba? For some
I
reason,
agree.
medyo may chemistry sila eh. Although wag natin pag-usapan yun. But yeah, I have to give credit to Paul Dino here. I guess, may nagtanong sa akin recently, should the Joker be here? If you're gonna ask me, Paul Dino's Riddler is basically what you need in this movie.
Siya lang.
I guess it's time for the Riddler to shine. Riddler has been classified as a second tier, second tier villain for Batman for so many years already, and it was ruined with the version of Jim Carrey. So I guess it's time na i-release natin yung Riddler na give him credit for what he is talaga. I guess nagkaroon tayo ng idea sa kanya with the Penguin and the Riddler in the Gotham. For some reason, I think ang laki ng influence ng Gotham Penguin and Gotham Riddler sa show na to, sa basically sa franchise na to. And kung naging stepping stone si Gotham to highlight these characters, I guess hopefully they would be so highlighted in this franchise. Kasi in my opinion, it's time that we get out from just Joker being the rogue villain of the main villain of Batman, because to be honest, Batman has the richest rogue gallery in terms of comic lore.
History.
Yeah. Even in Marvel, I would argue that si Batman yung may pinakamagandang rogue gallery. Kahit laban mo pa yung other characters.
Kay Spider-Man. Kasi kay Spider-Man, siya yung may pinakamagandang rogues gallery sa Marvel.
Yeah, I mean, aside from Spider-Man's rogue gallery, wala ka ng basic kukunin eh. Technically, X-Men, pero again, those are mutants eh. Parang kumbaga, I wouldn't say it's a rogue gallery of the whole Marvel, you know. And then Pilipin, we've got Doctor Doom. On DC side naman, parang imagine mo, gaito ka rich ang rogue gallery ni Batman. The Arrowverse, the Arrow movie.
Ginamit.
Tangina, majority lahat yun. Lahat doon came from Batman. Hindi lang nila kinuha. Basically, the well-knowns, like Harvey Dent, the Penguin, basically yung mga kilala talaga. But like the third tier, fourth tier rogue gallery ng Arrowverse actually are from Batman's gallery talaga. So, yeah, I basically, like sabi namin kanina, walang tapon dito. Pero yun nga, nag-highlight lang talaga, I would say, the Penguin and the Riddler for me, and also Catwoman.
Give me a second.
Alright. Ayan. We have a comment pa dito kanina pa sinabi ni Alvin, although ngayon ko lang napansin din. Sabi niya, Nolan's trilogy is better than Matt Reeves' Batman. The trilogy itself against Batman, yes, definitely. However, we're still not sure if kung magkakaroon ng trilogy si Batman. But as of the moment, I personally agree on that. Trilogy, way better than this one Batman. Pero ito rin sinabi niya, my only problem with this Batman is that you don't really know why Bruce Wayne does what he does. We'll talk about that and the movie hates Batman as a character. Okay, it was not explained in the movie itself. Yes, we'll talk more about that. So, let's go with our least favorite character first before we go to Batman himself. Any least favorite character out of this whole movie? JM, you start. Go.
Yeah, ang hirap kasi parang gusto ko halos lahat eh. Kung tutusin. But if you're going to target a least character, I am going to target something due to lack of development, and it could have been a great character, pero hindi niya nakapitalize si Alfred. Si Alfred talaga. Big time. Sabi ko sa sarili ko, I really want to see another iteration ni Alfred katulad ni Michael Caine or yung si I forgot dun sa Justice League. I forgot.
Si Jeremy Irons.
Jeremy Irons.
Kasi nasanay tayo sa mga Alfred na ganun. And ang lumabas kasi dito, I total the screen time ni Alfred is only 5 minutes out of a 3-hour movie. Ganun ka-absurd yung paggamit nila kay Alfred. And you would think, based on all of the other movies, even in video games, malaki ang contribution ni Alfred in regards to the Batman's success. You really didn't see it here except for a couple of riddles na tinulungan siya. And another thing siguro na underdeveloped din, well, he's going to have his own series. Apparently si Penguin.
Already? Si Penguin niya. Penguin.
So, yun yung dalawa na talagang I would have loved to see a lot more. Especially, kay Alfred, because you could see na parang injured si Alfred dito. You see a lot of scars in his face na parang di man lang binention what really happened. And it seems like na sobrang tagal na talaga nilang ginagawa ito. It doesn't even feel like year one na ginagawa nila, but the premise of the entire 10 minutes of the movie, nakikita mong year one siya. The mere fact that everyone's actually afraid of the dark yung kay Batman, year one siya. So we could have seen a lot more kay Alfred, pero I'm not sure what they're going on there. Probably siguro mas gusto nilang i-concentrate kay Batman and also kay Riddler talaga, because I can't blame them. Maganda yung pagkasulat dun sa dalawa eh. Pero I would have loved to see more development kay Alfred talaga, and also the Penguin regarding that. And kay Carmine Falcone, parang kulang siya kung dudusin. They could have made another, siguro, kung hindi siya spoilers na ba? Spoilers na ba?
Yeah.
Sorry.
He felt
Kung
like a
hindi
plot
siya
device
namatay,
lang eh.
Yeah, kung hindi siya namatay, they could have built a bigger arc of
Yun
probably
yung sinabi ko rin kay Migo eh. Oo.
And kasama
Sinabi
pa niya what do you call it?
Penguin.
Kasama pa niya si Penguin. So, I'm not sure, siguro makikita natin yon in the series, but yeah, I think that's it for me pagdating sa least favorite.
Ikaw naman,
ko.
amigo.
For me, pare, my least favorite character in this movie is one character that only appeared for like 30 seconds. And since that we're going to talk about spoilers, before we go there, I love everyone in this movie. Everyone did an A at least, alam mo yun. Hindi naman A+, pero at least an A, alam mo yun, in this movie. Everyone did fucking amazing in this movie.
Yeah, for some reason, yeah. They did.
That being said,
Can I just say lang, wait lang, sorry. This is one of the rare movies na masasabi mong lahat silang ganda ng ginawa. Wala kang mas specifically na actor in general, or even actor. Actually, I'll just go with actor. So masasabi mong putang ina
ang pangit ng performance.
Gago lahat sila dito for just some reason. Ang galing.
For sure, pare. And I want to echo what JM said na about kay Alfred. It's medyo sayang, pero at the same time, I'm a huge Andy Serkins fan because I'm a Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
Alam mo yun? Loyalist. So
Yeah, it's good.
Lord of the Rings is my religion. Therefore, anything that they're there, I'm gonna love it. Anyway, going back, the least character na nagustuhan ko sa movie to only showed themselves for like 30 seconds, barely. And that is the Joker. I fucking hate the Joker in this movie because
The Joker.
The Joker, yeah.
Well,
I
confirmed na eh. So, si Joker.
Well,
It's really confirmed.
whatever you want to say, everyone knows in the fucking movie theater with half a fucking brain cell that guy with that laugh and that tone of talking is Joker. Regardless of what you say. Anyway, moving forward, it's good to know that they confirmed that it is Joker. But the reason why I didn't like the Joker, quote unquote, in this movie is because he really didn't need to be there. Moreover, personally, I think he weighed the movie down unnecessarily.
Yes.
Kumbaga, medyo pumangit yung movie because he was there. For me, personally.
To be honest,
Because
yeah, I have to agree.
because the movie already gave you an A+ villain.
Oo.
A really good villain na bago yung iteration, bago yung tone, bago yung everything. This, alam mo yung parang, it's just like, parang binigyan ka ng kaibigan mo, oy pare, ito, bigyan kitang Bugatti. Parang ikaw like, oy, solid. Pero ito, may Tesla dito. Parang, what? Ano ginagawa niyo dito? Parang, get that fucking cool shit out of here, guys. I mean, it doesn't really help anything. It's just eyesore, and it's just another thing that you unnecessarily have to talk about.
Sequel bait.
I didn't like Joker in this movie because it took away some of the spotlight from Paul Dano. As in, all I want to hear after this movie is to give everyone Paul Dano his flowers because he has been a great actor ever since fucking There Will Be Blood. As in, Paul Dano has always been the psycho guy in movies. He's the stereotype na psychopath in a movie.
School
Alam mo yun?
shooter.
Yeah, he's that guy. And it's
Yeah.
so amazing to finally see him finally get his parang time in the limelight. Tapos biglang sa last few minutes ng movie to, you're gonna
Yung mas
shove
malaking villain.
Joker out of nowhere. It's, alam mo yun, para ka nag-Boba Fett, tas ang sarap na ng kain mo, bigla ka na lang susubuan ng kaibigan mo. Ito pare, kunin mo tong strawberry cake. Parang ayoko na, putang ina, ayoko na cake. Okay na ako sa kinakain ko. Alam mo yun,
Totoo.
that's how I felt about Joker in this movie. It was so unnecessary and it actually somewhat diminished the movie for me because it kind of ruined the flow of how this movie is going. And he really didn't need to be there. That's why he is my least favorite character in this movie.
Yeah.
Gets.
I've got something to say about the Joker himself, pero mamaya na siguro sa mga total negatives natin.
Sige. Pero,
Ikaw, Van.
pero same tayo. Gusto ko lang sabihin, nanonood ako dun sa second viewing ko ng The Batman, may nagsabi, parang sasalita na si Joker kasi medyo mas maliwanag yung pinanood kong sinihan. Sabi, uy gago si Two-Face. Putang ina mo, tumatawa na nga yan si Two-Face pa rin yan. Kasi medyo parang burnt yung texture ng mukha niya. Tapos parang nakataas. So siguro
Can't
naalala
blame
nila si Tommy Lee Jones dun sa
Yeah.
utang ng
Actually,
movie ni
may
Val
showing nga si
Kilmer.
Tommy Lee Jones doon. Yeah.
Utang
They
ina.
have the same profile.
Oo, kaya
At
siguro
least
nasabi
Batman
din.
At least Batman villain pa rin.
Ah,
gago.
sabagay,
Okay lang
sabagay.
yun, eh. Tangina.
Si Red Skull. Parang
Oh.
Diba? At least okay na yun, gago. Kaysa naman ibang villain yung sabihin.
Sabagay,
gago.
pwede na din. Pagbigyan. Pero, siguro, napaisa ko nga si Joker nga yung pinakayo. Kasi yun din tinanong ko sa inyo after natin manood, parang, kailangan ba nandun si Joker? Parang,
Yeah.
hindi, men. Hindi na siya dapat
Unnecessary.
ilagay doon, pare. Ang dami na natin nakuha ang Joker. Okay, masaya na ako doon sa mga huli. So, parang hindi na nga siya talaga kailangan ilagay doon. Pero siguro, masasabi ko na parang least favorite ko, honestly, ewan ko, parang feeling ko, hindi lahat mag-agree sa nito. Gago si Catwoman.
Catwoman.
Oh, Ben.
Ooh.
Yeah, I wanna hear this.
Kasi,
Yes.
parang, parang sumunod kay Batman, parang hindi lang, masyado siyang nagtiwala kagad, gago. Masyado niyang binigay yung tiwala niya dun sa mga characters. Ewan ko, actually, pati si Batman, ganun din eh. Yung parang masyado siyang nagbibigay ng tiwala dun sa ibang tao na hindi naman nila dapat pagkatiwalaan kagad. Nag-gets siya ba yung sinabi ko? So, parang...
It's not a Batman trait talaga. It's not a Batman trait yung ganun magtitiwala.
Yes.
Oh,
That's a great point.
parang same din kay Catwoman, pati dun sa hindi ko naalala ko, hindi ko makalimutan pinag-usapan natin ito nung uminom tayo after, pare. Kasi yung masyadong biglaan yung romance silang dalawa, na feeling ko dapat i-play dapat ni Catwoman yun sa sa back pocket niya, na parang ito yung huling baraha ko para gawin ni Batman yung kailangan kong gawin. 'Di ba? Yung kailangan ko iutos sa kanya. Pero hindi, sobrang biglaan ng pangyayari nung romance nila, na parang sobrang, para sa akin, sobrang out of character para kay Catwoman yung pinaggagawa niya for the whole movie. Gets ko yung okay pa sa akin yung parang yun nga yung hinahanap niya, siguro ginagawa niya yun kasi kailangan niya hanapin yung kaibigan niya, yung Russian pangalan nun, yung Annika ba yun?
Annika.
Oh, yun. So parang gets
You're
ko kung bakit kailangan ganun, na kailangan niya mag-work with Batman para mahanap niya nga yung kaibigan niya. Pero at the same time, nakikita mo yung interaction sila dalawa na parang masyadong biglaan, na hindi dapat nangyayari for the movie. Dapat yun nga yung parang sexual tension, nandun lang yung ramdam mo dapat yun eh. Parang, utang ina, ano ba to? Parang, yun nga yung sinabi ko, Migo, din nung dulo, parang will they or won't they, dapat yung pinlay nila dun sa dalawang yun.
That I agree.
Pero for some reasons, yung kay Catwoman dito, putang ina, binigay niya lahat kagad. Gago. Yung alam mo yun, parang bigay na bigay siya kagad kay Batman. So hindi ko lang yung nagustuhan talaga, pare. Kasi kung kukumpara mo pa nga yung kay Michelle Pfeiffer tsaka yung kay Anne Hathaway, gago, pinlay nila perfectly yung Catwoman na na hinahanap ko eh. Tsaka yung kung if they're going for a more realistic na Catwoman, gago, hindi, alam mo yun, na parang magnanakaw tapos parang sanay sa streets. Gago, hindi siya dapat ganun yung reaction niya kay Batman kung paano siya maitungo kay Batman. Kaya feeling ko, kinulang nga kay Catwoman in this movie, pare. Tapos may nakalagay.
That's a really good point.
So,
Yeah,
parang ito yung sinabi ni Anthony Hathaway for Selina Kyle or fight for the best Catwoman. Ito yung masasabi ko din kasi marami nagkakagusto kay Selina Kyle. Oo, nasa kanya yung look, pare. As in, kuwang-kuha niya yung look. Sobrang sexy niya. Yung dating niya, as in, parang straight out of the comic books yung Selina Kyle ni Zoe Kravitz. Pero masasabi ko, pare, sa buong performance si Zoe Kravitz dito, ang isang tumalo lang na scene, na sinabi ko na rin to kay Migo tsaka kay Wach, yung tumalo na scene na kaya pasabi ko si Anne Hathaway pa rin yung mas magaling na Catwoman. Yung scene na parang nagkunwari siya na natatakot siya nung dumating yung mga pulis na nagsisisigaw siya doon na yung sa bar.
Yes.
'Di ba, na nagsisisigaw siya doon, tapos after niya mag-walk out doon sa bar, naging seryoso yung tingin niya, tapos may smirk siya sa mukha niya. Putang ina, ang ganda ng scene na yun yung Catwoman, pare. Dito hindi ko naramdaman yun dito sa movie na to sa totoo lang.
To be fair though, for me personally, yung scene na yun ni Anne Hathaway, yung nag-turn siya bigla on playing to be the victim.
Oo.
For me, that's her only good scene on being Catwoman.
Yeah, yun nga eh. That's the thing.
Only good scene.
Yun yung masasabi, yun rin yung laban ko dun eh. That whole scene against the whole scene of Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman.
Okay.
Yun lang eh. Yun lang highlight niya. So basically, I'll give 5 points for Anne Hathaway on that scene alone. But that's it.
Yeah.
5 is, that's it.
Kumbaga parang meron kang substitute player na bigla na lang nag 30 points pero isang game
on one
lang.
game, yeah.
Okay, gets.
Parang yun yung 5 eh. I mean,
actually, here's the thing. I give credit to Anne Hathaway for that, not even the caster.
Oh yeah,
I'll
give credit where credit is due.
Yeah.
Give credit where credit is due. Pero yeah, although I do get what you're saying, Ivan, na parang it's just so weird. It's so weird na yung itong dalawang character na to were just very much open. Where they're not supposed to be, right?
Oo. So parang yun lang, ang layo sa sobrang out of character nun. Pero
I have a theory regarding that though. Sige, continue muna ba?
Pero yung kay Anne Hathaway, parang ako personally sobrang nagustuhan ko kasi siya dun sa sa Dark Knight Rises. As in lahat ng scenes niya. So kaya ko lang nasabi na yun yung pinaka. Pero kumbaga hindi, that's not saying na yung ibang scenes siya pangit. Nagustuhan ko rin siya talaga dun sa buong movie. Pero yun.
I think siguro pinag-usapan na natin to, Ivan, yung pagdating kay Ada Wong.
Okay, Ada.
You could see yung kay Ada Wong kung gaano siya tawag dito, femme fatale. And yun ang actually, most of it nakita natin yung femme fatale aspect niya dun sa The Dark Knight Rises. You could see kung paano niya traidorin kung sino-sino na lang. Because that's what Catwoman really is. She's not trusting on anyone. Talagang kapag mayroon siyang gustong gamitin, gagamitin niya. And I would agree na dito nga sa movie na to, I'm not sure kung ganito rin sasabihin ni Wach, pero they wanted to capitalize kung anong merong chemistry silang dalawa. Yun ang gusto nila mangyari. And since let's be honest, si Robert Pattinson, he brings in the crowd sales. So you need someone na magandang babae na pwedeng sa kanya, i-partner sa kanya. Is Zoe Kravitz a good pick? Subjective. Pero for the role na meron na binigay in the script, it did work to quote-unquote perfection, kaya maganda yung kinalabasan. That's why even me, na gusto ko rin sabihin yung sinabi mo, hindi ko na nasabi kasi parang it worked parang it worked parang yun na sa akin And it's hard to tell, parang i-justify na, tama talaga si Ivan. In retrospect, tama talaga sinabi niya. Pero ang problema kasi, for me, yun
gumana siya. Nag-agree ako dun.
Yun yung least of the problem siguro yung for me, yung nangyari dun sa Catwoman niya. But for comparison kay Anne Hathaway, I'm with you na Anne Hathaway pa rin.
Din. Para dun sa movie yun nga Kung ano yung ginawa niya para dun sa movie, tsaka yung tone, okay. Pero hindi lang sa akin talaga. Sobrang, hindi lang sa akin nag-make sense ng sobra. Hindi ako sobrang sold dun sa Catwoman. Pero yun nga, again, that's not saying na pangit yung performance nila kasi sobrang okay silang lahat Kumbaga, kung pipili lang ako ng hindi, kumbaga, pinakamahina pero malupit pa rin, yun si Catwoman siguro.
Ito pala, I just have to, meron lang ako parang slight theory regarding kung bakit parang nagtiwala agad si Batman and Catwoman with each other. I guess it's first time seeing your same kind. I guess it kind of had like, maybe siguro ganun yung parang pinapalabas nila na parang,
kindred spirits yung dalawa.
At the same time, parang para tayong mask vigilante na parang, tangina, may kasama pala ako. So I guess parang yun yung nag-play sa part doon. Hindi naman sa dinedefend ko yun. Medyo, that's yung very out of straight both for Batman and Catwoman. It's just that siguro at Doon nga, ito, I guess in their timeline na parang bata sila. Alam mo yun, parang nakakatawa na, shit, tangina, meron pala akong kapareho. So I guess that's one of the reasons kung parang bakit sila nag-connect eh. Yun yung nakikita ko sigurong sabihin ni Matt Reeves pag ginagawa niya yung shit na yan. Na parang, oh, hindi, kasi ito yung fee ko eh. Kailangan nila mag-connect eh, blah, blah, blah. Pero yeah, I guess siguro ganun yung parang ipapakita nila. That's how I see it. Anyway, for me, my least favorite character, which also the bridge for our next topic, is, I would say, Bruce Wayne and Batman himself.
Okay.
There you go.
That is my least, I would say, least character that I enjoy.
Take us home.
Yeah. Why?
Derive this shit home.
Again, in my opinion, is because nagkaroon na tayo ng preconception of who Batman is. Again, sinabi ko to kay Migo and kay Ivan before. If this was a different movie, let's say it's the Weedman, the movie, and we didn't have any idea on who the fuck Weedman is, this would have been a masterpiece.
Ivan yun last week, man.
Wala ko dyan. Hindi ko alam yan. Pero parang nakita ko ngayon, di ba? Two joints! Two joints! Yung morme. Pero yeah, yung morme siya eh.
Oh my God.
Gano'n ano tawag dito. Ayun. If this was like the Weedman or like other character hindi natin wala tayong idea. Let's say even if it's a kick-ass movie. Let's say yung Batman doon sa Kick-Ass, yung Batman sa Kick-Ass, diba? I forgot his name eh. Si Big Daddy. Big Daddy, tama ba? Yeah, kung ito is parang Big Daddy movie, get yung style, everyone will be talking about, this is a masterpiece. This is wow, 10 out of 10. But the reason I guess medyo nagkaroon tayo ng different opinions regarding it's because it's the Batman. And it's going into the movie, like we said a while ago, meron na tayong preconception on who or what Batman and the Bruce Wayne is. Katulad ng sabi ni, may sinabi dito si Alvin kanina. Yeah, ito, sabi ni Alvin. The mannerism of Batman and Bruce Wayne in this movie is the same. Bruce Wayne and Batman is the same. That's a problem. Yun na naging problem sa kanya. We didn't get to see the difference between the Bruce Wayne and the Batman.
Yun yung sinasabi ko kanina na one-dimensional yung Batman.
It's very one-dimensional. Why? Kasi nasanay tayo na si Bruce Wayne is basically the playboy rich kid.
Yeah, because diba, you know this Wach na there are two different personas of Bruce Wayne Batman.
Yes.
They shouldn't be the same. Kasi the mask, sabi nga nila, the mask is Bruce Wayne. The real person is Batman. So if you're going to combine it talaga na parang dito yung gusto ko mag-nitpick sana, pero if you're going to combine it as such, you're losing the essence of who Batman really is. Dahil hindi niya kayang gawin si Bruce Wayne. Yan din yung nagkakaroon ng contention with other people na nagagalit siya sa akin na parang, di mo nagustuhan itong movie na to. No, actually, nagustuhan ko siya. But I have one glaring problem with the Batman. He cannot execute Bruce Wayne as Bruce Wayne. Yun yung mali.
Exactly, pare.
Exactly.
Yun.
Totally.
Sorry, Wach. Sorry.
Go lang. Okay lang. That's one of the reasons kung bakit I would say, out of all the characters in this whole movie, at sobrang dami nilang binato sa ating characters, and for some reason, like I said kanina, they went perfect. John Turturro as Alfred, as Falcone. Dude, he really did a great job being the creepy mobster. Alfred, this Alfred that right here is one of the best, in my opinion, the Alfred that we have even for small scenes. Why? Dito pinakita, para yung Alfred dito, this might be the youngest Alfred that we're having right now. If you notice about it. His physique is very, I should say, imposing. Alam mo yun, when you look at...
Medyo malapit siya dun sa Gotham, no? Na ano?
Yes, malapit siya sa Gotham.
Tough guy na, na Alfred. Na galing sa military.
In terms of movies pala, kasi we have a Pennyworth series and there's also the Gotham PD that we have here. However, in the movie series, ito pinaka-youngest. He's younger than Jeremy Irons here, definitely. So alam mo yung parang makakakita tayo ng young Alfred, which I think i-highlight na in the upcoming movies. Nasabi natin yung ibang characters, even, right. So sobrang daming characters dito, everyone did well. I guess it was basically Batman, in my opinion, was my least character here. Kasi nga, again, he was outshined. It's not that he didn't. It's not that he was bad. It was just he was outshined. Wait, nawala si JM. Okay, baba siya. He was just outshined by everyone.
Outshined.
Yeah. And speaking of, let's talk about Robert Pattinson as Batman. Since napili ko na siya, I'd like to start first. Tama yung sabi mo, JM. tama yung sabi mo kanina, I have to agree. The reason why people don't like this movie or don't like this Bruce Wayne is because it's different from basically this one. However, I'd like to say this. I'd like this Batman, not in the movie, but as a new Batman itself. It gave us a new take on Batman eh. Nasanay tayo na meron kang fresh. Medyo contradicting ata sinabi ko na siya yung least favorite character ko, but I'm saying I like him. But I'm just saying I like him as I like the Batman that we're having here.
No,
It's just
it
that
makes sense.
Ito yung
It
overall
makes
theme
sense
nung
talaga.
nung buong movie
feel-
pare. Maganda siya pero may mali parang ganun.
Yeah. The first thing I said, di ba, when I went out the movie, maganda siya, pero parang pangit. Pero medyo
Yeah.
pangit. So, ganun yung feeling eh. So, I guess with the Batman that we have here, yes, it's very underwhelming to see Bruce Wayne and Batman the same. However, again, wala pa tayong different movies, so you have to compare the Batman here. I guess this is the Batman, the Bruce Wayne that we're having here is much not close to reality, pero feeling ko, ang sa akin nga dito, nasasabi ko lagi, nasasabi ko to lagi kay Ivan and kay Migo, the Batman that we have here is fucked up because of the timeline in a sense na, tangin na mas ma-understand mo siya kung 18 years old siya or 70 years old eh. Parang, the Batman that we're having is basically just a spoiled teen. You know? So,
That's the reason why ganun yung result ng movie na to, di ba?
yun nga eh. So,
Mm.
it's basically a spoiled teen right now na parang he's just really trying to find who he is. It's basically a quarter life crisis Batman.
No, he's a coming of age Batman.
Yeah, a
Yeah.
coming of age Batman. That's the right term. And this is the first time we're gonna see a Batman like this. Kasi
Exactly.
in Christian Bale, parang sa kanya, he's a man. He's a man already.
From the start
and
lang eh. Yeah.
all the Batmans that we have, basically, man na sila. Here, dito nila pinakita na, I guess, the trauma of seeing that as a kid and at a certain age, hindi siya ganun kadali i-shake off. That's why siguro ganito yung persona niya. And yeah, you're right that it's one-dimensional. You're right that it is boring. However, I find it really fun too because it's something new. It's something that we have never seen before. And it's, like I said, potential. It's exciting to see kung ano siya mag-evolve towards it. Diba?
Exactly.
And that's how I see this Batman here. I guess I'll talk more or add more later, but I'd like to hear regarding what your thoughts about the Batman here.
Alam mo what?
Jake, go
What's
first.
so
Go, sige, Migo.
what's so funny for me personally is that anyone can tell me that anyone can tell me all the positives about this Batman. And I'll tell them yes. At least 95% of the time, nasasabihin nilang positive things about this Batman. I will totally agree with them. Because it's true eh. This Batman is fresh, grounded, the closest that we can get of a Batman, if we ever to have one in reality, like right now on what we have, it's fresh, it's noir, it's different, it's a different direction of what we had before. It's an evolution, a different path on the different Batmans that we've had before. Everything of this Batman, the acting, everything.
Nawala
The
kami.
one thing na hindi ko ibibigay sa mga taong yun na, yun, everything na sasabihin na maganda ng tao about this Batman, I will give them 95% of the time. The only thing that I won't give them is that I won't give them that this Batman is boring. And I don't mean boring in a bad way even, okay? As in, I'm trying to be very careful with my words on how I describe this Batman. When I say this Batman is boring, para sinabi ni JM kanina, it's kind of losing the essence of what the character
Yes.
of Batman is. Wherein he has a lot of masks to play. In this movie, it's obvious naman na. Let's get it out of the way. It's obvious that in this movie, they're really trying to one direction, not the banda, not the band, pero they have one direction, a singular vision or a singular direction on where this Batman is supposed to be, which is the Batman who is really tired, that doesn't really like what's happening, that has darkness and vengeance in his heart. That's
Wants to
where
die.
this Batman is, di ba? Ito yung Batman na pinapanood natin.
An emo Batman, basically.
For lack of a better term, it is an emo Batman, right? And with that said nga, kung yun lang ang i-offer mong Batman sa akin, I will say that Batman is boring.
Mm.
Just like kung bibigyan mo ko ng hamburger na tinapay lang at saka karne, I will tell you that yes, this is a good burger. Kasi masarap yung karne and okay yung tinapay, malambot, cooked it well. But this is a boring hamburger. Where's the
Yes.
cheese? Where's the pickles?
Mm.
Where's the lettuce? Where's the dressing? Because that's what Batman is. Batman is not just a hamburger with just meat and fucking bread
No.
in between. Batman has layers. Batman is Bruce Wayne, where he tries to pretend that he's not the masked vigilante. At the same time, Batman is also different from how he interacts from the public versus how he interacts with Alfred, which is
Yun.
yung parang
Yun. Yun yung
yun lang yung parang
pinakatotoo.
yes. Si kay Alfred lang siya pinaka pwedeng magpakita ng hindi siya totally 100% Batman, pero hindi rin siya 100% totally Bruce
Bruce
Wayne.
Wayne.
There's this variety of Batman as a character, the essence of him
Mhm.
as a character that we get to see in other iterations. What I don't like in this specific Batman, in the direction that they're going, is that they're just going in one tone of Batman.
Yun nga eh.
Is that bad? For playing Bruce Wayne and Batman as a legacy character, it is a bad way to go about it because there's no layers. Para sinasabi mo ba sa akin na, Migo, is it a bad idea to make a hamburger business pero ang i-offer ko lang sa tao is just hamburgers and bread? I'll tell you yes. Because there's a lot of more iterations of better fucking hamburgers in the world.
Mm-mm.
So you have to play it not because you have a vision that you believe na tama. You have to play it because there's a legacy behind the product that you're offering people.
Oo.
And it's so hard to say na this Batman is boring just because this Batman has legacy.
Oo.
And the legacy is from the movies, the comic books, and the video games. That's why I will see that this specific movie of this Batman is boring because they played it in one direction, in one tone only. That's why I really didn't like that specific tone. So now you guys know it's specifically kung bakit di ko nagustuhan yung Batman na to. I love the acting. I love the tone. I love the cinematography. And I love the acting of Robert Pattinson. I loved it. Everything. The entire package.
Pero,
But when I took a bite of that hamburger, I know it was missing something.
yun. Exactly,
Saying
pare.
you love something, but, yun nga yun eh, love something, but, siguro, me and an amigo, we share some kind of kinship pagdating sa mga comments namin. So, I totally agree doon. And it all falls down on the writing of the character. When
There you go.
you have an established character, sinabi ni Drinker to, if you have an established character, you have to utilize the best parts of that. And knowing na si Batman nga, di ba, if you're targeting year one, sana yun ang pinakita nila. Na mahina si Bruce Wayne during that time. Na he's going undercover, which they did in the first 5 minutes.
Yun
So
nga.
natataka din ako, na, why didn't you guys capitalize on this one? We would love to see a different Bruce Wayne na siya yung nag-investigate ng mga
Very
like,
good.
ang pangalan niya, Matches Malone yata yung pangalan niya dun sa tawag dito, sa
Yeah, okay.
yung alter ego niya na nag-infiltrate ng mga ibang organizations. We would love to see that one. But the problem is, I think Matt Reeves, sobrang excited niya. We need
jump the
to
gun.
sell,
Yes.
yeah, we need to sell the Batman as the Batman, and you're kind of alienating the other fans. They know the established
Kung sino
franchise
talaga.
na meron to.
Oo.
Yeah, katulad ni Wach, marami siyang alam tungkol sa The Batman or yung Batman mythos. So, even me, kahit na hindi ako ganun ka-versed, I know a lot about The Batman to know na this is not something na talagang gusto ko. I wanted to see the interaction he has in real life, meaning real life, yung mga obligations ni Bruce Wayne as the owner of Wayne Corp and how that actually ties in dun sa ginagawa niya at night. So, yung mga ganun simple, that's part of what ruined my experience in this movie. Pero it's not saying na hindi maganda yung pagkakagawa nila. Katulad na sinabi ni Migo kanina, if I were to order food, mas gusto ko may variety or at least kunyari may simple na na cheeseburger dito, as may makita akong quarter pounder dito, syempre anong pipiliin mo? Pipiliin mo yung mas masarap. doon tayo.
Mm.
Hence,
Yeah.
that's why I'm still going to choose the Nolan Batman. Kasi Christopher Nolan knew how to write a very compelling Bruce Wayne /
Yes.
Batman.
Agree.
So,
Yes.
yun lang siguro yung yung main rant ko regarding that. There are a lot more na pwede natin pag-usapan dito, pero I don't know. You guys can correct me, but does Matt Reeves have a basic fundamental mistake in doing this pagdating sa character ni Bruce Wayne? Or was he too excited na parang, napanood na ni Christopher Nolan to, and I got his seal of approval na maganda siya. Or maybe meron pa silang ginawa kasi ang tagal bago ilabas ito Dapat lalabas sa 2020, di ba? Parang marami pa silang ginawa dun sa script na to. So, it's either Matt Reeves' vision that went wrong, especially in the last 30 minutes itong movie na to, or yun nga, he has a basic fundamental mistake in how to calculate and how to write also the Batman. Or maybe it's the writer's issue then. Pero overall, I would say na, it's okay. It's fine.
I don't think na there was a mistake recorded. I guess ito talaga yung sinulat nila for this universe.
Yes.
Alam mo, ito yung talagang gusto lang
The risk. They took a really good
Yun yung risk na talagang na pinakita nila So, if there's gonna be movies after this, doon pa natin malalaman. But basically,
doon tayo makakapag-compare talaga.
Hit or miss talaga itong Batman na to for us right now. But anyway, Ivan, go. Ano ba yung
Well, yung pagdating dun sa Batman, nag-agree ako parehas kay JM tsaka kay Migo na ito, yun din yung napansin ko na bakit ganito si Bruce Wayne, bakit siya si Batman. Pumasok siya doon sa funeral scene, putang ina, wala siyang ginawa kundi titigan yung mga tao tapos nasama ng tingin niya. Parang, gago, parang,
may mga siyang addict doon,
gago. Parang yung tingin niya, gano'n, hawak-hawak niya yung daliri niya, gano'n lang siya ng gano'n, gago. Putang ina, kung nasaan kung high school yan, tapos sa GHM, putang naman, sa mga tingin na. Gano'n agad yun, men.
Pero si Batman na to.
Yun yung sinasabi ko, Ivan, na is there a mistake kung paano nila ginawa tong Bruce Wayne na to? Those simple na mga ginawa niyang ganun, na nakikita talaga natin because we know who Bruce Wayne is. Or at least we know, di ba?
We have a concept.
Although yun nga, nakita ko yung interview na yun na sinabi ni Robert Pattinson. Basically, yung sinabi nila doon, hindi itong Bruce Wayne na to, or itong Batman na to, hindi niya alam kung saan nagtatapos si Bruce Wayne tsaka kung saan nagbibigin si Batman. Na, which is fair. Ibibigay ko yun sa kanila. Pero kasi, yung whole, ang tawag dyan, kung ikaw yung kailangan mo nga magpakilala sa tao na meron kang legacy bilang sa family mo, na kailangan mo magpakita, mag-show face para i-save, well, hindi natin nakita yun pero kasi, nagsasalita ako bilang kilala mo na si Bruce Wayne tsaka si Batman, na kailangan mo mag-show face na para na ikaw yung parang magiging CEO ng Wayne Enterprise, gago. Parang hindi ka pwedeng maging ganun maipag-interact dun sa mga tao. And again, pare yun na nga, establish na yung character. Bakit itatry mo siyang, gagawin mo siyang one-dimensional na sinulat na nga siya perfectly for other movies Yun na nga lang yung kailangan mong gayahin from the other movies, yung personality ng tao na yun siguro. Hindi mo pa nagawa, 'di ba? So, doon ako nagkaroon ng problema. Ang pinaka-problema ko dito sa Batman din na to, para hindi siya nakakatakot, men. Hindi siya yung Batman na matatakot ako, gago. Ito yung...
We talked about this. Nag-inuman tayo.
Sabi nga ni Migo, kung papipiliin siya sa lahat ng mga Batman na or kay Michael Keaton, kay Ben Affleck, kay Christian Bale, tsaka dito kay Robert Pattinson. Kanino ka may ipagsuntukan? Tangina, pipiliin siya si Robert Pattinson kasi saan niya ka hindi matatakot Alam mo, pwede kang matalo. Oo, matatalo ka. Kasi magaling nga siya sa martial arts.
Ako. Pero
mas pipiliin mo na yun, man. Yun yung problema ko.
Yung the path of least resistance na yung kukunin mo talaga.
Exactly. Alam mo, parang Dark Souls, parang, alam mo, matatalo rin ako Para dito na ako sa pinakasupat na alam ko matatalo ako.
man.
Pero speak of, magandang question yan. Sino pipili mo, JM? Kasi kami nasagot na namin Sino pipili mo? Kung kuyari may chance ka kung kuyari may makikipagsuntukan ka. Life or death. Kailangan mo makipagsuntukan sa isang Batman. Sino pipili mo?
definitely I'm not going to choose Ben Affleck.
Oh, man!
Hindi ko
Ben Affleck, gago.
Siguro lahat ng Batman lahat ng Batman to.
Yeah, yung
Adam
sa
West.
Hindi,
Hindi,
sorry.
Movies lang. Movies.
yung sa movies lang. Hindi,
Christian
ano lang.
Bale, Batman, Batfleck, Christian Bale,
Pattinson,
Michael Keaton, and
Pattinson.
Yung apat lang.
Talaga? Pattinson talaga?
Oo, men.
Pattinson or si Michael Keaton kasi
Kita
Michael
yung pick ko eh.
Yeah, you don't get to see kung paano yung prowess ni tawag dito ni Batman as a fighter kay Keaton.
Well,
So hindi
that's
nila
true.
na-capitalize yun. So definitely, kung ganun ang base natin, syempre kay Michael Keaton ako. Pero not knowing na hindi mo alam talaga kung anong kaya niyang gawin, hirap din mag-gamble sa ganun. So I would rather choose sa something nakita ko na yung fighting style niya, which nakita natin dito kay Robert Pattinson, as opposed na may gambling tayo na pwede pa ako mamatay pagdating kay
Sakit. Diba?
Keaton and Pattinson kay Keaton. So yeah, I would choose.
I just want to talk about this real quick. Parang hindi nakakatakot si Michael Keaton as Batman. Look at his costume. Look at his, compared mo sa Pattinson that we're gonna have this, compare mo sa bat suit ni Robert Pattinson and the way yung itsura niya tumayo.
Stiff masyado.
I don't know, pero ako, Michael Keaton is not
Hindi
that,
para sa universe na yun eh. Yung i-argue ko doon pare kay Michael Keaton pare, yung theatrics na meron siya as Batman gago compared dito sa
Dito sa when you see kumbaga kunyari merong parang ano tawag doon? Kumbaga may mga pantheon na makikita mo parang sino pipili mo makalaban? Michael Keaton, tapos makikita mo siya. So makikita mo sila Bruce, sila Bale, sila ganyan. Parang pag nakita mo parang
ganito mo lang isipin men, parang dahan-dahan silang lalabas magsi-step out from the shadow. Putang ina kanino ka matatakot. Yun na lang men. Hindi talaga kay Robert Pattinson gago. Mas natatakot ako kay Michael Keaton men.
Yeah,
pero to be fair with Wach, yung fear factor ni Keaton and ni Pattinson is very close.
Okay.
Pero maybe because I've seen the movie itong The Batman recently lang,
89.
maybe I have a bias. Maybe. Pero that's basically the point eh. When I saw this movie, I wasn't scared of the Batman.
Yun
That's
nga
basically my
And yun nga yung problem ko, pare. Kasi in the first few minutes of the movie, they were trying to establish that the Batman was fucking scary. Yun yung problema
and
ko
and he was on the start.
Yun nga
But it declined.
Yun
halfway.
sobrang nawala eh.
You know why he declined? Because out of the shadows, paulit-ulit mo siya nakikita.
There you go.
Yun.
Kay Michael
The
Keaton
law of
na,
diminishing returns. Yes.
yeah, and here's one thing regarding yung 89 Batman na you don't really see the Batman dun sa sa film na yon except for the final stages laging si Bruce Wayne. So yung enigma na meron siya,
Diba?
talagang mas nakakatakot siya for the tawag dito, criminals once na makita mo siya.
Yun nga
And
eh.
that's the same argument na binibigay ko dito na bakit hindi respeto ng mga tao si Batman dito, or at least half and half. It's probably because lagi siya nakikita. Diba?
Oo.
And
Yun, and at the same time, pare, ganito na lang. Kaya matatakot ka ba knowing na nagbe-build siya ng legend eh. 'Di ba? Kailangan
Yes.
ang problema ko dito sa Batman na to, kailangan siya maging parang dapat ang tingin sa kanya ng mga criminal, supernatural creature siya. Gago, by the second year na Batman siya, gago na ipag-work na siya sa GCPD. Yun yung problema ko dito sa movie na to, gago. Dapat hindi pa siya kilala eh.
Yeah, the mystique of the Batman.
It's gone.
'Di ba? Parang so nakita siya nung ang tawag mo diyan, nakikita na siya ng mga pulis, nakikita siya ng mga tao. Dapat pati yung mga pulis takot sa kanya kasi hindi nga alam kung tao siya or halimaw siya, pare.
Yeah.
Yun yung problema ko with this movie.
I will say though, pare, to give more flowers to Robert Pattinson, maangas yung ginagawa niya na from the shadows, narinig mo yung footsteps niya na mabigat. Parang ako like, oh fuck. Parang siyang boss eh. Parang oh fuck, ano to?
You know what reminds me of that, pre?
Plus
Darth Vader.
Yeah, exactly.
Darth Vader.
Diba? You have that parang dominating figure na kalma lang na papasok. Tapos you have the Michael Giacchino score. Dun, 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 dun. Parang ako like, oh shit. Alam mo, parang sinasabi ko kanina, I really like this movie and all that shit. And I like and I like Robert Pattinson, pero there's just something in this movie na talaga, I can't give, alam mo yun, parang you can't tell me that this is really that good, that you're telling me that it is good, alam mo yun.
Oo.
It is that good, pero you can't tell me that this Batman is all that, alam mo yun.
Yun nga
Not the
eh.
definitive Batman.
Yun
Diba?
na lang.
If you're gonna give me a fucking cheeseburger, don't tell me that's a fucking quarter pounder. Because I've seen and tasted what a quarter pounder tastes like.
Yun nga eh. Parang kung maghahanap ako dito ng scene sa The Batman na nakakatakot, hindi man nakakatakot eh, pero maangas lang. Yun nga yung first time na nag-step out siya from the shadows. Na yun nga yung mga criminal takot na takot sa kanya. Pero by the time doon sa funeral scene na naglalakad siya na mabagal, papunta doon sa DA, putang ina, parang ginagawa mo.
Nawala.
Parang yun na yung sabihin ko, di ba? Parang kung pipili ka ng scene, sinabi ko rin to kay Wach El Amigo, pare, na kaya masabi ko parang si Ben Affleck pa rin yung pinakamabangis na Batman. Kahit na merong scene sa Batman Begins, kahit na meron doon sa yung kay Christian Bale na parang hinahanap siya nung criminal tapos bigla siyang na upside down tapos sinabi niya, here. Parang gumanon lang siya. Nakakatakot yun. Pero pinakatumalo doon na scene pa rin yung sa hindi sobrang ganda ng movie yung Batman v Superman. Pero yung scene na ng first time na pinakita si Batman doon sa wall, gago na hinahanap siya ng mga pulis. Gago mo nga siyang halimaw nun, pre. Nakakatakot siya nun. Yun yung hinahanap ko dito. Yun yung hinahanap ko dito. Kasi mukha siya demonyo nun, pre. Nakakatakot talaga siya. Yung scene na yun, parang kung paano siya ginawa, parang straight out of a horror movie. Pero dito yun nga yung tinatry nilang gawin. Pero sobrang nag-fall short talaga eh. Kung ano yung gusto nilang gawin for the Batman. Dapat nakakatakot siya. Hindi siya nakakatakot, doon sila nag-fail para sa akin.
Pero to be fair though, Ivan, diba pag-usapan natin na this Batman feels like the early days of the Batman.
Basically an experience. So yun na yung bibigay nating sa kanya, yung parang past
benefit of the doubt.
We're dealing with a year 1, year 2 Batman dito na totally hindi pa niya talaga alam kung ano gusto niyang gawin, except for natatawa nga ako each and every time na tinakausap ako ng mga friends ko, how do you like the Batman? Sinasabi ko lang vengeance kasi yun yung paulit-ulit natin na yun, vengeance. Which yun lang ba ang alam mo? Yun lang ba alam mo?
Kaya in the movie it is. And it was encapsulated in the end na mali nga yun.
Ginawa ng therapy yung pagiging Batman. At he was going out at night, literally nang-uupak lang siya. Kasi galit ako sa sarili ko, gusto kong mamatay. Parang this was the Batman that we have. Although ito na-realize ko, now we're talking about him, this Batman, most likely ito nga lang pinaka-sane Batman na meron tayo. Haven't you noticed that kasi diba, there's this theory na baliw talaga si Batman. Having this personality, having
multiple
this
personality disorder.
kind of multiple, just split personality. And having this Batman, technically, this is like the sanest Batman we have.
I agree, Wach. Pero, ang masasabi ko dyan is that this Batman is just year 2. He's getting there. He's gonna, alam mo yun?
Yun nga eh.
Parang nasa SLEX ka, pare. Alam ko sa kapatungo. Alam mo yun?
Exactly. So parang, ito na pag-usapan natin, na-realize ko, ito pa yung medyo matinong Batman, to be honest. Ito pa yung taong Batman. Parang kumbaga, medyo may isip, medyo sane, I would say. Kasi, to be honest, let's all be honest. If you look, I know we're all Batman fans here, but if you look deep inside, psychologically, we all know Batman is fucked up. We both know that he's not meant, maybe sa sobrang talino niya actually in the comics, or sa sobrang galing niya, he's actually insane. It's
in the Killing Joke, di ba? Sinabi niya, one bad day na lang.
Yes, exactly.
Yep.
Yun yung that's the reason why Batman is actually a polarizing character. Because he's borderline insane.
Insane.
Kung sino yung mga hinahabol niya, basically nando siya eh. Di ba there are actually other plots, comic plots na parang, is Batman really a hero? Or he's actually one of the villains? Kasi di ba, that's one of the comic storylines na ginawa nila before na parang, isn't Batman part of it? That's why ayaw siya ng GCPD. Because there's no difference between him and the other criminals actually in Gotham.
Sa vigilante, di ba?
Yeah, hindi nila nakikita actually kung yung difference eh. So I guess, since sa pag-usapan lang natin, parang itong Batman ito lang parang pinaka-sane pa rin, kumbaga. Actually borderline. Tama si Migo. Papunta na siya doon sa
setting. Alam mo yun, parang nasa drive-thru ka ng McDo. Alam ko kukunin mo yan. Alam mo yun?
Gago.
Alam ko, I know where you're going, brother.
I have a question there though. Yun nga, parang he did realize in the end na parang tapusin na natin yung Vengeance tour.
Yes.
Sabi niya, but here's the problem na
Vengeance
nakita ko.
Tour! Oh
Diba,
my
Vengeance,
God!
diba?
The perfect
Vengeance
name of
Tour.
this movie! Vengeance
The
Tour!
Vengeance Tour, pare. Batman, The Vengeance Tour. Parang nag-concert lang siya, gago.
Yeah.
Parang concert lang, gago.
Oh my
Tangina.
God! That is
Yun
it.
na yung ano.
Gago Miss
yun na yung-
Americano Tour. Tangina yung next na tour, gago The Vengeance Tour. Tangina, isipin mo kay Taylor Swift yan, gago. Gago, man, habang umuupak siya may Taylor Swift song, gago. Oh, duel! Gago, takas na din.
So he did learn from it, but yung pag-set up nitong character niya provides another problem moving forward. Now that he realizes na yung vengeance, it's not really the right way. And
Yes.
Batman's character is actually defined by yung vengeance and heart niya dahil sa pamilya niya. He doesn't want anything else to happen. Paano nila susulatin to ngayon ng mas saner na Batman na na-realize niyang gano'n? So,
Yeah,
yun ang inabangan ko. Kasi
Oh.
that would be a different take na naman. And
Yeah.
siguro tingin ko na lang din yung main issue ko when it comes to pagsulat kay Bruce Wayne and Batman. This movie, or at least the first part, it felt like, pocha, asak na naman ako. We're just getting another history kung ano nangyari sa Waynes. Yun na naman, namatay na naman sila, and then ganito na naman nangyari sa kanya. So, what saved that, siguro, kahit nasabi mo, ayoko din yung latter part, yung medyo realization na. Yun na nag-save sa akin. Even yung sinabi ko, yung the talk between him and Riddler, doon ko na-realize na kahit paano, yes, I should give credence na maganda na itong movie na to. Pero yung the fact na we're going around in circles, pang ilang iteration na ng origin ni Batman to. 'Di ba? Parang sana hindi na nila ulitin ulit. I wish this movie would be successful talaga. Far more successful dun sa Batman Begins para ituloy nila na maayos. Yun na lang siguro yung hinihingi ko.
Feeling ko ano na yun, inevitable na yun para dito sa The Batman.
Kasi di ba nakakasawa na rin, men? Parang ilang beses mo na nakikita yung origin ni Batman na hindi siya nagpo-forward.
Good
Let's
thing na
say,
I mean, good thing di nila ni-replay yun eh.
I mean,
Di-
that's
di-
true.
yung sa BVS. Yung sa
Yeah.
BVS. So parang,
Pinakita
how
nga
many
nila ulit.
times do we need to see yung problem na ganun? Alam mo, they would be bold enough, sabihin natin, hindi dito, kasi we know yung Flash movie, malapit na. They would be bold enough to use Thomas Wayne at this point.
Yun
Diba?
na nga eh. Yun na nga eh.
Diba,
Hopefully, I'm really looking forward to that.
Gamitin nyo na si Thomas Wayne. If not, wala kayong mahanap na Thomas Wayne na matanda, then go get Kevin Conroy to do his job.
Oh.
Then,
There you go.
mahal na si Batman. So,
Oh
I
my
really-
God! Wait lang. Shit.
May naalala ka, Crisis? May
Oh,
naalala
sa Christ
Pero-
ang pangit
pero-
doon, ang pangit
kasi
ng person.
Kevin Conroy pare play Batman actually in real life na parang like oh my
Batman
God.
Beyond.
But he's too,
Batman Beyond.
he's too fucking thin for me, Kevin Conroy.
Na, I mean, yung Batman Beyond version na talaga.
Oh,
Yung matanda.
pare, Robert Pattinson is like a fucking wooden stick in this movie and we didn't care.
Kaso matanda na rin kasi si Kevin Conroy. That's the only issue. Na.
Masyado
Pero like, he's like-
matanda.
Pero
I mean,
he does
siya
fit
yung,
that
ano,
bill.
siya yung Bruce
Yeah,
Wayne
he's
from
like a bit-
Batman.
He's like a billionaire, got crazy, I'ma put this fucking suit, let's go. Alam mo yun?
Yun,
No.
yun sa ano,
Perfect
yun sa
bill.
Batman Beyond.
Sa-
Kasi
sa
ginawa
Batman
niya
Beyond,
yun eh.
yun.
Parang latter part nung career niya, ginamit pa rin niya yung suit as Batman until naging sobrang, I cannot do this anymore, and then pumasok si Terry McGinnis. I would love to see a Batman Beyond movie in
Oh,
this
din.
one. Kung sakali, itong universe na to. Kasi talagang
Yeah.
dito,
I have to agree with that. Honestly, Robert Pattinson as Batman Beyond would have looked good.
Terry
Oh, yun
McGinnis.
din.
Mas
Mas bagay
sa kanya.
Yeah, he would have
better.
been a very
Mas
good
bagay nga sa kanya.
Terry.
When he
ito,
got
kung-
casted, I thought they were
kung-
going in that direction.
Kunin niyo si Kevin Conroy as a senior Batman. Dapat yun yung isip
Even
ko.
Michael Keaton, pare. Michael Keaton, Robert Pattinson connection. Parang namin.
Good son.
Guwapo nun. Pero,
So, yeah, siguro yun na lang din yung ano, I hate to see this rebooted again na parang uulitin nyo. And I don't want to see it again sa ano, sa The Flash. Kung papanorin ko man yung The Flash, ayoko na makita uli yung gano'n na
Oo, yung
parang we need
origin.
to reintroduce again dahil babalik si Michael Keaton. Guys, know your history if you're fans.
Oo.
Yun na yun.
Yeah,
Know your history.
2022.
although I have to give credit, they changed one thing here that I really like.
I know where you're going. I know where
Yes,
you're going.
yes,
The Arkham storyline with Martha.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
really like that. Sobrang ganda for me nung storyline na yun na that's one
If
of the
they
reasons.
execute it the next time na may movie sila yung second and then doon nila i-concentrate sa Arkham. If they execute it
Hopefully.
properly, yeah. Like yung sabihin natin sa games, if they execute it the same way,
Same
Man.
tone, no? Ang ganda nun.
so you would be seeing all Batman films na nasa taas. Talaga. Mahirap hilahin pababa yun. Katulad ng The Dark Knight. They cannot, even sabihin natin Marvel na marami silang ginawa, they still could not top The Dark Knight.
No, wala.
Even Infinity War na paborito ko, I'm still going to go for The Dark Knight. Kasi maganda siya and written work. So, yeah, I'm sorry na medyo tagalan ako. But yeah, excited na talaga ako.
No.
Na-appreciate ko yun yung iniba nila. Well, feeling ko na kinuha nila from the Telltale series if na laro nyo na yun or na panood nyo na yun.
Yes, maganda.
Na, di ba, na ganun, parang nagkaroon ng connection si Falcon tsaka si Thomas Wayne. Tapos hindi ko na maalala kung nabaliw din dun si Martha na parang part siya ng Arkham. Pero I mean, natuwa lang ako na nilagay nila yung side story na yun para dito na dapat na magkaroon tayo ng extra knowledge about kahit pa paano extra side story para dun sa magulang ni Batman. Kasi wala na nga tayo nakita kundi binaril sila tapos nahulog yung pearls ni Martha Wayne. Putang ina, yun lang. Ulit-ulit dun.
In slow-mo.
Diba? So, actually, nag-agree ako dun.
Tapos sumisigaw si Bruce Wayne, no? Ganun pa tayo yun. Lagi ganun eh. Lahat, even sa Gotham, yun din yung ginagamit nila.
Sa crime
But
meron akong ipopropose sa table natin, pare.
Yeah.
Ito kasi sinabi ko kay Ivan eh. And si Wach, kasi si Wach tumawag sa amin later on habang nagiinuman kami. And sinabi ko to eh. So JM, well sabihin ko na sa table, pero JM first time mo ito magiging. I really think in this movie, so we know that in this movie, that Selina Kyle and Bruce Wayne made out. Diba? Right?
Ganda ng point ni Migo dito.
I think this movie would have been so much better if they didn't. Because of how the movie ended thematically, on how they shot the movie. So the way they shot the ending of the movie was nag-uusap si Bruce at saka si Selina kung ano plano nila sa buhay, basically. Selina wants to go away, to leave Gotham because Gotham is hopeless. Bruce wants to stay because Gotham feels that he has responsibility of this in this
Gotta meet him.
right? Exactly. So the way the movie ended, we were in their motorbikes. Tapos they went separate ways. Diba? And then when they went separate ways, Bruce looked at the side mirror, saw that she was leaving, but he gave, on the very last shot, he gave like a small smirk in his face.
Yeah.
A lot of people were saying na parang sinabi ni Wach na that's him actually finally embracing and enjoying that he is the Batman, which I agree. But to add on the layer on that impact, I would say na it should have been better if they didn't kiss. Why? Because if they didn't kiss, somewhat there would be an added anchor, an emotional anchor in the story. If you can remember how Captain America, the first Avenger movie started, yung pinaka-core ng movie yun is basically Peggy and Steve's love story that they never really, kumbaga hindi sinagot yung love nila, whether in physical intimacy, i.e. kiss, or innocent intimacy, i.e. the dance. That's why when the movie ended, nung alam nilang mag-separate ways na sila, quote-unquote forever, for the audience, it's more impactful, dramatic, and tragic na itong dalawang characters na to, merong unrequited love na hindi nila makikita on screen. That's the reason why I believe if in this movie hindi nag-kiss si Selina Kyle and si Bruce Wayne, there would have been an additional emotional anchor in this movie that would have added not only sa audience on how they feel, but also on the character of Bruce Wayne nung sa huli na nag-smirk siya nung umalis siya. What do you guys think about that? If they didn't kiss in this movie, would it have been a bit better as a movie as a whole?
Jim, we go first, Jim.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I think siguro kung i-compare natin talaga sa sa what you said, amigo, Captain America. that
First
worked
Avenger.
well. Yeah, that worked well in first Avenger na hindi nila ginawa yun because number one, it raises the stakes na I need to return. Yun eh. So,
Hmm?
in another sense, I think kaya nila ginawa to, may sinabing point si Ivan kanina that they're also copying some stuff out of the Telltale series. And yung ending nun, halos ganito. The only difference is, they're not under alter ego. Kunyari, nandun si Selena and nandun si Bruce. Ganun yun, halos ganito yung nangyari.
Okay.
I need to leave this place kasi wala na mangyayari sa akin dito. Meanwhile, you have Bruce na sabi niya, Gotham still needs me. I need to stick around. So, if yung titignan natin yung future, which na wala pa eh, there's nothing set in stone eh. So,
Exactly.
I would agree na dapat hindi nila ginawa yon. You know, number one, kasi sobrang dami na nilang ginawa pagdating sa chemistry nila sa movie. Parang tama na.
Exactly.
Oo,
That's
yun
more than enough.
Yeah,
They
you're
already
right.
sold it.
The writing is on the wall, just read it. Ganun na yun eh. But
Exactly.
it's hard to say na if this could be the last, which na tingin ko hindi.
No.
This won't
Hindi.
be the last one. It cheapens the movie a bit more. Di ba? Parang,
That's what I'm
it
saying.
cheapens the movie a bit more kasi alam mo na mangyayari yun. If hindi nangyari yung kiss na yun, it would have been better. Kasi
Yes.
now you're in limbo na
Yes.
Yun.
talaga bang pabalik siya? Parang ganyan.
Yun.
Diba?
Parang may something sila eh, pero but hindi pinakita. There's no physical assertion or
Yes.
validation.
Again, this is the main reason why na parang as much as sinasabi natin na ang hirap i-fault yung writers, there's something
Yeah.
wrong sa writing nito.
There you go.
And the mere fact na titignan mo yung ending nito, that's why I said that the last 45 to 30 minutes ito was really unnecessary. It's because of those scenes na parang pinilit nila na mag-sequel bait tayo. If you're like Christopher
You have to agree
Nolan,
with the sequel, babe.
yeah, you have the brains of Christopher Nolan. He won't do that. Kita natin sa The Dark Knight. The Dark Knight, tinapos niya. Hindi mo na alam kung may susunod na movie. That kept you wanting for more. Pati sa Batman Begins, di ba? Open-ended yung Batman Begins eh. Hindi mo pa rin talaga alam kung anong plano nila, kung may plano nga talaga.
Well, I mean,
And-
pinakita yung Joker card sa dulo ng
Yeah,
Batman Begins.
Yun
Yeah,
lang.
but
And
yeah,
if you
They
compare
did,
it,
but the funny thing was this, they didn't connect it to the Dark Knight.
Oo.
Oh.
Basically, nag-ano lang sila na parang, merong guy na gito. Pero to be honest, di rin naman laki yung sa dulo yun eh.
Don't
Yeah,
know,
the
hindi
Joker.
niya sinabing
Yeah.
pangalan.
call
Parang
Yeah.
calling card lang yung pinakita eh. And
Exactly.
that's why I agree totally sa sinabi ni Migo kanina na why did they have to also place the Joker in this film?
Yes.
You didn't really need that. If you wanted to have the Joker in this film, siguro katulad na nung card thing ang gagawin ko. Parang kunyari nasa loob ng
Parang some sort of Easter egg lang eh. Okay na eh.
Oo, nandun nasa loob ng
Not the dialogue itself eh, di ba?
not
si Riddler,
showing the character.
nasa loob ng si Riddler, and then sabihin natin may nakalagay sa wall, it's me, haha. Yung mga ganon, di ba?
Yeah.
Yung mga ganon, simpleng subtleties na ganon na tipo, ngayon mag-iisip ka.
Nag-agree ako dun.
And number one, ewan ko, tutuloy ko na ba to?
Sige.
Pero
Go
it's
ahead.
still part of the number one thing na ko rin, is the Riddler actually Hush? Doon ako
Yes.
na-stuck.
Yeah,
Parang,
yun.
why? Parang yung design mo mismo, you're Hush, man. And then gagamitin mo pa si Hush. And then lumabas
Pati
yung
serial
mga,
killer, no?
not only that, lumabas yung mga IDs, multiple IDs niya. So, naiisipin ko na alam ko yung si Batman, you're Hush. You're not the Riddler. You're
Yeah,
Hush.
that's true.
Yun yung sabi ko na, alam siguro ni Wach yung sasabihin ko tungkol doon sa suot-suot ni Riddler because Hush is talaga, it's Thomas Elliot and then sinabi na namatay si Thomas Elliot. So, which I think hindi siya patay.
Hindi.
We all know na hindi
Pare,
patay
may,
si Thomas Elliot.
may Easter egg doon. Gusto ko lang isingit, pare. Di ba nung may video doon tungkol kay Martha Wayne, tapos meron silang pinapatay, di ba, na yung reporter. Tapos pangalan
Elliot.
Wayne. Tapos sabay nakalagay in bold letters, pare, Hush. Kasi binigyan ng hush
Yun
money.
nga eh.
Yes,
Silagay,
hush money.
Yes, yeah.
Putang ina, nalagay doon, hush. Ako, inilabutan ako sa second viewing ko lang yun napansin eh. Tapos sabi ko, uy, gago. Siguro may kinalaman si Thomas Elliot. Siguro tatay niya yung pinatay na reporter. Parang ganun.
Siguro.
Kasi
Oo.
Elliot din yung
That's a good
So
direction.
parang
Legit din yun eh, yeah.
so parang feeling ko kaya siguro siya galit kasi sa lahat ng naging iterations ni Thomas Elliot, galit siya doon sa Wayne family.
It's a win.
So parang feeling ko doon nila dadalin yun, man. So excited ako. Buti nabanggit mo si Hush, pare.
Kaya naguluhan din ako noon kasi basically yung itsura ng character ni Riddler is basically Hush na talaga.
Hush.
Kaya asar na asar ako na ito pala yung direction nyo. Sana ginawan nyo na ng something much special si Riddler na ma-identify talaga ng mga hardcore fans na yung Riddler character niya. Aside from yung writing na sobrang ganda na, siguro yun, what took it a peg down is yung mismong suit niya. I know everyone else won't agree with me pero that's how I felt. Lalo na nilabas nila yung Hush na yun, yung malaki. Sabi, okay, so why? Diba? You should have reserved that costume to Hush. Honestly, kung ako
Yung costume gets.
Totoo. Sobrang Hush ng itsura niya.
I'll be honest, guys. I don't know what Hush is in the storyline.
Oh,
Okay.
no, pre. Yeah, you
Hush,
should.
basically, teka lang, ano ba to?
Yeah.
Dalawang
I think
Halloween. Tama?
Dalawang Halloween.
Yeah, basically, dalawang Halloween is one of the best.
Yun yung isa sa mga ano nila dito eh.
This is actually dalawang Halloween, kaya nga mas lalo ako naguluhan eh.
Yes, this is dalawang Halloween. Basically, dalawang Halloween is one of the most
also haven't read The Long Halloween.
decorated Batman comic book or storyline.
May animated na lumabas last year ng dalawang Halloween.
I did see na merong animated.
Si Jensen Ackles.
Sorry, hindi pala dalawang Halloween to. Hush isn't from dalawang Halloween. Yung isa. Pero
yung ano nito, yung premise na itong movie na to, the way yung kills na nangyayari is The Long Halloween.
Halloween.
Yun talaga inspiration nila for this movie, sinabi nila eh.
Year 1.
Yes, pero si Hush, sorry, yung storyline ni Hush is Batman Hush talaga. Pero yung style nito is The Long Halloween, yung parang holidays. Yung holidays pumapatay siya.
Kaya wala nga lang si Mr. Holiday dito, di ba?
Si
Calendarman. Wala lang siya dito. Kung dinagdag pa nila dito, yung gulo na masyado. So, yun yung talagang yung mga simple stuff na yun na minsan hindi naintindihan ng fans na sobrang tawag dito, sobrang dami nangyayari. And based sa mythos na alam mo, hindi mo na alam yung direction na yung i-react mo because okay, so I have to the movie is fine. Pero yun sa daming direction, nalilito ka na as a fan of Batman. Nalilito ka na talaga.
Actually, JM, okay nga yung sinasabi mo ngayon eh. Kasi me as a fan who doesn't have any idea of those stories still feels the same way how you guys felt.
Oh, di ba? Kasi
I think
writing, pre.
I think it really makes it a point na talagang there's something fundamentally wrong in this movie na hindi ko I can't really put my finger on.
No,
kasi
you
of
know
me
why
na hindi ko alam yung mga stories yun and I see the movie. Kayo, when you see the movie, you see it in a different lens kasi you guys know stories na that fit in that mythology. Ako hindi. Pero alam mo yun, yung end product on how we felt the movie afterwards, we somehow still feel the same way. Which really makes a good point dito sa conversation natin, I think.
Kasi alam mo yung writing, pre. Yun yung siguro alam natin eh. You know how good characters have been written and it's obvious na maraming good characters here but the problem is yung jumble-jumble ng ideas na meron sila. Who knows? Siguro nagkaroon ng conflict yung mga writers. I think 3 yata silang writers dito including si Matt Reeves eh. I think I'm not entirely sure. That's the biggest problem na meron ka kapag may multiple writers ka. But did we enjoy the film? Again, that's the question. Yeah, I mean, we like the film. we love the film, despite the flaws.
Since we're talking about Batman, pag-usapan naman natin to. May list na ginawa si Migo na maganda pag-usapan natin. We're not through natin since nasa Batman list na. For you guys, who is the best love interest of Batman in all comics, in all media.
All forms.
We have Vicky Vale, we have Selena Kyle, who else?
Talia al Ghul.
Talia al Ghul.
Talia al Ghul. So for you, Sino, who would you say is the best love interest?
I want JM to go first kasi I think he has the best in-depth knowledge of this.
Sakit sa ulo, mas marami pa sa watch sa akin pero I think
I doubt that. Oh, yeah, go ahead.
In paper, I would say number 1 talaga would be Catwoman.
Okay.
Just because of yung opposing nila. Di ba? We have a crime-fighting vigilante and also billionaire. And you have a person from the streets and also a thief. So yung dynamic na meron sila, maganda talaga. But I have top 3. Siguro hindi ko na-explain yung iba. Yung number 2, Talia al Ghul just because of their history. Yep. And also how she was portrayed and also in the Arkham series, or at least yung Arkham City. Maganda yung pagkakaano sa kanya. And saka ano siya di ba? Batman should have been the heir of Rage.
League of Shadows.
So siya yung dapat na the demon, sabi nga nila, which siya yung never-ending quest na gusto nilang gawin. Siguro yung pinakahuli and also unpopular is not a Batman character, but it's Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman number 2 ko. Kasi yung love interest niya sa Justice League, kitang-kita mo yung dynamics.
Sa animated series ba to?
Yeah, di ba? So, yung tatlong yun, pero if I was to pick one talaga out of all of them, siguro si Catwoman na. Number 4 siguro si Vicky Vale.
Okay.
Siguro ako pare, in the panel na may pinakawalang alam sa larger lore ng Batman. Because I'll be honest guys, the only thing that I know about Batman is largely from the movies, and not even every movie, and a little bit about the games and a little bit about the comics. So, I guess you can classify me as a casual Batman fan. I would agree to call me that. So for me, sa lahat ng mga nakita kong very small shows and media wherein Batman is portrayed, I really agree dun sa sinabi ni JM na for me, I think it is supposed to be Wonder Woman, pare. I mean, it's not the traditional choice. Alam mo yun?
Yeah.
Alam mo, kumbaga, I feel like Batman is in a Chinese family and you can only marry him in another Chinese family. I get it. Alam mo yun? Pero for me, alam mo yun? No. Parang, for me, the reason why I say na it's Wonder Woman, because again, in my very novice lens and perspective, I like how Ben Affleck and Gal Gadot played in the Justice League movie. I like how they also played in the old school Studio 23 Justice League animated series. Diba? I mean, that's where I'm playing at. Kumbaga, yes, of course, Catwoman definitely is there. Pero if you're gonna give me the keys to the fucking castle, I'm gonna want to see a story straight up, as in Batman and Wonder Woman, because that's a fucking great story. Just because that Batman is a man and Wonder Woman
is a god.
Is a goddess.
Yes.
Yeah.
Diba? And knowing Batman na alam mo yung parang always wanting to have something behind his sleeve just in case it hits the fan. And at the same time, Wonder Woman is not Superman na all good Boy Scout. Alam mo yun? Wonder Woman is a fucking warrior. Alam mo yun, it's like a great, alam mo yun, parang you know the movie na, I forgot the name of the movie, pero yung pareho silang ex-girlfriend and boyfriend, pareho silang spy. Now they're trying to kill each other and shit. Parang ako like,
Mrs. Smith.
There you go, Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Yeah, parang ganun.
It's kind of like that vibe, but ako like, that would be fun to see or read. Alam mo yun? That's just my novice choice. I think that would be fun.
Siguro singit ko lang din because when you say Batman and also Wonder Woman, kaya nga pinili ko din, it's because Batman, deep inside alam natin Batman wanted to be something more. And Wonder Woman wanted to really live yung life na, alam mo yun, yung Amazonian lang talaga siya. Without any powers, being quote-unquote human. So yung dynamic na yun na, okay, so we could complement each other in what we would like to achieve. So that's also the thing kaya pinili ko si Wonder Woman as well. Yeah.
I agree.
Ako pare, pipiliin ko si Talia al Ghul. Kasi pares sa sinabi ni JM na parang basically yung morals nila conflicting, yung moral compass nila conflicting. Kasi si Batman ayaw pumatay, tapos si Talia al Ghul Ra's al Ghul na assassin sa League of the Assassins or League of Shadows. So parang ang tawag dyan, parang gusto ko makita yun i-explore sa media kasi nakita lang natin na version ni Talia al Ghul is sa Dark Knight Rises and parang kinulang ka doon kasi doon sa bandang dulo the whole time parang lang pala siya, galit lang talaga si Talia al Ghul kay Bruce Wayne and hindi ganun yung talagang storya nun. Yung isa sa gusto kong makita doon kasi kaya gusto ko si Talia kasi siya yung nagbigay sa atin kay Damian Wayne pare. Arguably isa sa mga siya yung top, isa kasama sa top 3 na na Robin ko na ever na gumanap kasi complicated na character si Damian Wayne. Kaya gusto kong makita yung route na yun dalin sa movies, yung Talia al Ghul, League of Shadows, tas Damian Wayne. Kaya si Talia yung pipiliin ko.
Yeah. For me, I'll pick the cat and the bat. To be honest, why? Catwoman is basically Totga ni Batman. Si Rachel al Ghul, in my opinion, Totga ni Batman si Catwoman. If in the comics, if tama yung pagkakaintindi ko, if there was a right time and a right place, he would definitely choose Selina Kyle anytime. Overall,
Yeah.
Kasi I guess yung nangyaring relationship with her and Rachel and Talia al Ghul was basically more of a situation. Alam mo yun, parang nilamig si Batman, ando si Talia, pwede na to. But, parang ganun nangyari sa kanila eh. But I'm not saying na hindi niya mahal.
So, nagkaroon sa relationship talaga eh.
Yeah, they did. Pero yun nga lang, in my opinion, it was really, ito talaga hinahabol ni Batman. It was always Catwoman. And also, tama si JM kanina regarding yung thief, poor girl, and then itong isa trying to save the city pero mayaman. So, alam mo yung
Diba?
ang ganda lang, parang si Batman, kaya feeling ko na-excite din siya kay Catwoman kasi gusto niyang hulihin pero hindi niya mahuli kasi nga type niya. Even if mali yung ginagawa ng tao, hindi niya talaga fully masabi na, shit, mali to eh. So, alam mo yung ang ganda lang ng dynamics nila. Very,
yung last guest ninyo, si Coach Van ba yun?
Coach V.
Coach Dave V. Coach V.
Big yun. Medyo nag-chat din kami, hopefully ma-feature ko sa... Yun yung number one thing na sinasabi ko regarding male and female dynamics na hindi nakikita ng tao. When you see something of the opposite sex, sometimes hindi ka talaga, or at least most of the time, hindi ka maa-attract sa isang katulad mo talaga. Regardless ng sabi, you're going to look for someone na not really total your opposite, at least, yun nakikita mo na, this someone will give me the adventure that I want.
Yes.
Yun yung nakita nilang dalawa sa isa't isa. Kaya nung, one of the, kaya pinilit nilang gawin dito, tingin ko din, yun nga, yung chemistry nilang dalawa, Pattinson, and also si Zoe Kravitz, and also, siguro, we could give them na alam nila yung yung dynamics si Catwoman, pati ni Batman, but they overplayed it to the point na parang nakakasawa na.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's...
Yeah, they should have kissed.
Okay, so, ito. Next natin is best Batman villain for you.
Best Batman villain.
Yeah. Best Batman villain.
Are we
I would say
any
start any media. Let's go with any media.
Yeah, any media.
For you, any media.
For me, pare, honestly, so when I started reading comic books in 2008, I already had an idea on who Batman was because Batman is basically Iron Man back in the day. He's the most famous superhero. Even more than Superman, especially because after Christopher Reeve, there was never really a convincing Superman. Actually, I think there wasn't even a Superman movie after Christopher Reeve.
Ito pala.
Si Brandon Routh.
Just to make this interesting, okay? Pick your top 3 and also out of your top 3 yun. Para lang mas mano kasi madaming rogue eh. I guess baka wala tayo sabihin dito Joker, di at least man lang magkaroon tayo top 3 para lang exciting. Go for top 3 please.
So my top 3 is very generic. So going back to the story ko, I think my number 1 would have to be Bane. Not because of the movie of Tom Hardy, okay? But just because nung bata ako, I never thought that fucking Batman would be fucking get broken like how Bane did. Kasi just to give you guys an idea again, I was looking at this story in the comic book lens. And isa sa mga pinakaunang nakita kong stories that, holy shit, Batman got defeated. And who's the guy? It was Bane. So Bane really left an indelible mark in my head na parang, oh, this guy's fucking, alam mo yun, parang pangas tong gagawin to. So I will give Bane that because of, I guess you can say, nostalgia. And siguro next is of course Heath Ledger as the Joker. Because of course, why not? Alam mo yun, parang, why don't you like pizza? Like, di ba? Parang, of course, pizza is Heath Ledger, but di mo siya gusto. And siguro third, really, seriously, bibigay ko to kay Paul Dano. As in, I'm so happy about Paul Dano. I'm a big Paul Dano fan. I mean, not the biggest, I won't lie. Pero when I saw Paul Dano in his previous works before in the movies na sinabi ko earlier, parang ako, this guy is really good. It's just, alam mo yun, parang hindi lang siya, alam mo, he hasn't found his parang breakout role yet.
Oo.
And now na nakita ko na
Ito
ito na
na.
yung breakout role niya as
Mm.
the Riddler, parang ako like, yeah, ayaw mo,
Ah.
alam mo, parang let's push Paul Dano because he's been here so long. As in, a lot of people think that Paul Dano has just been here for the past 10 years. Parang ako, hell no, like he's been here for more than that. This
Ah.
guy has been acting ever since he was not really a child, pero
Teenager.
like an early young actor. That's how long this guy has been acting, and I'm just so happy to see him get his praise now with the role of Riddler.
Riddler.
So yun yung talking ko.
Alright.
Ikaw, JM, go.
Here lang ako.
Ang hirap pumili, pre. Honestly, ang hirap pumili.
Hirap nga.
Not just because yung yung dami ng kalaban niyan, Rogues Gallery, but also every opponent kasi na meron si Batman, it's morally different talaga. From, ano mo yun, each character na kalaban niya, there's a different spice na dinadala. Siguro, I would pick siguro my number 3 would be Barbatos. Yung kung
Barbatos.
updated kayo sa Dark Knights. Kasi, if we're going to talk about yung multi-level threat na kinalaban ni Batman, siguro yun na for me, yun sa Dark Knight's Metal. It's one of the longest na Batman arc so far. I mean, hindi ko pa nga tapos hanggang ngayon, yung Dark Multiverse. Pero,
Maganda rin yun.
it's a different take talaga sa kalaban niya eh. Batman hasn't really fought someone na ganito. Yung talagang multi-universal threat na yun. So, I would give it to him. And siguro kasama na rin niya dun si hindi kasama sa 2, pero kasama na rin niya si Batman Who Laughs. Obviously, alam natin kung
solid
sino Batman Who Laughs.
men. Maganda. Batman Who Laughs.
Naka-ano kami. Yeah,
Hello.
so number 2 ko would be Catwoman. Just because
Okay.
of yung elusiveness na meron si Catwoman. Hindi naman niya talaga nahuhuli. So, yung dynamic na meron sa, it's very interesting to see Batman face off with another female character na almost equal niya in tactics. Well, not really, pero if you get what I mean, may soft spot talaga si Bruce o si Catwoman, si Batman kay Catwoman na hindi niya talaga pwede, alam mo yun, exert yung full force niya against this person just because of the emotional attachment na meron siya. And we don't see that with Batman in any case. Hindi natin nakikita yun sa iba. Siguro sabihin na natin Talia al Ghul, pero that's a different scenario dahil may anak silang dalawa. And my number 1 would be almost all of the iterations of the Joker. Especially yung kay Heath Ledger.
Siyempre.
Pero maganda pa rin yung mga nasa comics. Because in the Joker, this is actually the great equalizer ni Batman. And we could see that in tawag dito, in The Killing Joke, na parang one snap away, Batman can be one of us. Just one bad day.
Yeah.
Yun yung hindi nakikita ng ibang tao. That's funny because you got Hugo Strange na sobrang talino. Hindi niya nagawa kay Batman yon. Even si Mr. Freeze na dapat nasa top 3 ko, pero hindi niya, parang they never capitalize na the fact na, oh yeah, maybe Batman is actually just one of us na nag-aantay lang to get something happen or to let something happen in his life in order for us to actually be, or him to be part of us. And the Joker understood that to the core. Kaya ganun na lang yung pag-push na kay Batman. Ayaw niyang patayin dahil he knows Batman will also not kill him. So yung stakes nila lagi nandun. Parang, yeah, we need to outdo one another. Pero in the end, syempre, we know Batman always wins.
That's true.
Okay.
Ikaw, Ivan.
Siyempre, ako pare, number 1 ko, walang tatalo kay Joker. So, parang more specifically, kay Heath Ledger na Joker. Dito sa The Dark Knight. Kasi, parang, yung reason kung bakit tuwa ako sa kanya, bukod dun sa pagka-characterize nila dun sa, kay Joker sa movie na yun, is na-prove niya ng mali yung mga haters, gago, nung nakast siya as Joker, pare. So parang tinitingnan lang siya as pretty boy kasi nun eh. So kaya masasabi ko, parang alam mo yun, parang wala siya acting chops para doon. Stock ng lumabas yung trailer, di nila mamukaan na si Heath Ledger yun. Yung Joker na yun. Pero yun nga, specifically yung Joker na yun, kasi in that movie, pare nakita mo na hindi siya yung hindi siya yung parang Joker from the comics na parang yung nakita natin, paano ba sasabihin, ano bang tamang word dun? Campy ba? na Joker bago pa dumating sa Dark Knight, or basta parang pambata na Joker. Kahit nga yung kung
Yeah.
iisipin mo yung sa Michael Keaton, parang medyo ano pa eh. Hindi
It is.
parang
It
ganun pa
is.
siya, medyo pambata pa siya. Pero yun yung first time na nakita natin si Joker na parang mukha siyang comic book character, baliw siya, pero kailangan mo siya katakutan kasi wala siyang paki, gago. As in, yun nga yung sinabi niya, some people just wanna see the world burn, but so siya yung tao na ganun na chaos na basically nasa form ng tao si Joker. Kaya tuwa ako sa kanya. Pangalawa siguro pare si Mr. Freeze. Si Mr. Freeze yung only
So,
reason.
Schwarzenegger?
Yung only reason kung bakit ko siya gusto si Mr. Freeze. Well, kung gusto ko siya makita sa movies kasi gago sobrang basura ng Arnold Schwarzenegger na version ng Mr. Freeze na nakuha natin na sa totoo lang medyo mas malalim pa si Mr. Freeze para doon. Hindi alam ng tao kung gaano rin siya katalino. Hindi alam ng mga tao kung gaano siya na parang lahat technically speaking, lahat ng villains pa naman sabihin misunderstood lang sila na tao, pero kasi si Mr. Freeze hindi mo siya technically masasabing talaga sobrang samang tao kasi ginagawa, alam mo yun, parang feeling ko if we were in that situation tapos may ganun tayong
Gagawin mo din talaga.
gagawin natin yun lahat na parang may ganun tayong klaseng talino, may ganun tayong klaseng resources, we would probably do the same. And that's the good thing about villains, pare, yung na feeling ko nagustuhan ng mga Marvel fans about Thanos kasi nakaka-relate ka sa kanya 'di ba? So yun yung gusto ko about Mr. Freeze, pare. Kung tatanggalin mo lang yung mga comic book shit na yun. Tapos yung tangina, habang sinasabi ko nga to parang napapaisip ako, well, technically hindi siya villain dun sa Joker movie niya. Siya yung hero kay Joaquin Phoenix Pero gets ba yung sinasabi ko na parang gusto mo ilagay yung sarili mo sa shoes niya na parang naintindihan mo kung bakit siya ganun Pero yun nga, hindi siya yung villain na sinasabi ko. Pero kumbaga bakit maganda lang siyang character si Joker. Anyway, yung pangatlo ko pare si Ra's al Ghul. Kasi actually sa sa Batman Begins hindi rin ako sobrang natuwa sa kanya. Doon sa
Pero
characterize sa kanya doon sa Batman Begins kasi parang kung makita mo siya pare, sobrang doon sa media na lang, kahit sa video games sa Arkham series, na gusto niya ipasa yung legacy niya kay Batman kasi nakikita niya na pinupush niya nga na si Batman, ganito siyang klaseng tao, gago, kaya niyang palakin yung League of Shadows. Parang sinabi mo kanina, JM, na parang si Joker lang yung tipo ng tao na kaya magpalabas ng totoong ugali ni Batman. Pero feeling ko si Ra's al Ghul yung magka-come in sa second na parang malapit niya nang ma-discover yung darker side ni Batman. Kaya gusto ko si Ra's al Ghul.
Nasa Under the Red Hood yan, di ba?
Ayun. Ay,
Yeah.
di ko, sa Under the Red Hood, nandun ba siya?
Hindi, I mean, yung buong plot na yon, kaya gusto nilang kunin nga si Batman para maging maging hair niya.
Yung successor niya, di ba?
They need to damage Batman to the core. Sino ang recruit ni Ra's al Ghul nun? Si Joker.
Para si Jason?
Si Batman. Oo. Kasi kapag emotionally damaged na yung isang tao, talagang yung despair niya, maghahanap ng ibang way yun kung paano mag-cope up. So, parang nabasa na nila ng dalawa. Pero, we know naman Joker, he's a very loose cannon. Kahit sino pa yan, kahit sabihin mo si Ra's al Ghul pa yung mag-recruit sa
gagawin niya
kanya,
kung ano gusto
hindi
niya.
nila kayang hawakan.
So, ayun, si Ra's al Ghul kasi yun nga, siya yung parang close second kay Joker in terms of trying to break the Batman to his parang yung papunta dun sa darker side ng ugali niya. So, yun. Si Joker, Mr. Freeze, siya si Ra's al Ghul.
For me naman, I have to pick, I guess, on top is Joker. Without the Joker, there is no Batman, in my opinion. They're soulmates. They go hand in hand. And in terms of morality and everything, again, tama si Heath Ledger Joker. You complete me in terms of Batman. I always believe and I guess this tandem, Joker and Batman, they have the best villain and hero chemistry in all comic books. And you argue with anyone, not because I'm just not just because I'm a Batman fan. It's because it's true. I don't think there's any other combination. Ang next siguro dito would be Professor X and Magneto. in terms of dynamics of heroes and villains. Aside from that, no one would come close regarding this. The chemistry that they have, the tandem, the morality and the mindset of these two people have. Actually, if you think about it, tama yung nasabi natin kanina. Batman is not just a bad day away from Joker. He's literally a hair away from being the Joker. And yun yung maganda sa laging pinoprove ni Joker in any media na we're the same. And that has always been his point. Na you and me are the same. We are one person. So yeah, that's why I have to put Joker on top there. Second, I think this ito for me honestly, I think hot take to, and I guess this is one of the underrated villains na dapat din i-highlight hopefully. Pero na-highlight naman siya is Scarecrow.
Shit.
He is not being given the credit that he is due. But Scarecrow naman, the reason ba't gusto ko siya is he likes to tackle fear. And if you notice, Batman is very fearful.
Yung theme niya eh.
Yeah. Matatakot. Honestly, if you think about it, brave si Batman all, but deep inside, he's scared. He's scared of losing Gotham. He's scared of losing his family. Basically, he's a very fearful person in a sense na hindi siya takot like a normal person, but he's scared deep inside. That's why he's doing this. He's scared to actually have the same trauma that he had during a kid.
Yes.
And that's what Scarecrow is trying to play. That's why Arkham Knight is a very,
exactly.
very good game in a very good storyline because he's trying to break Batman in a sense that he's injecting fear to Batman. And in that game, he overcame it by accepting morality. Basically mortality pala. By accepting mortality at the end. That's how I see the game ended for me. Yeah.
And best example yung sa Arkham Knight talaga. If you want to see a definitive Scarecrow, yun talaga. Panoorin. Kahit panoorin nyo na, wag nyo laruin. Panoorin nyo yung final scenes nun. Maganda.
Yes. Very good Scarecrow. That's the best Scarecrow so far in media. Although alam ko, sa comics meron siyang mga highlight stories but not as big as Hush, not as big as The Long Halloween. So far meron siyang mga mini stories na nag-stand out siya doon. And my third, definitely, I guess, dito masyado pipili ng mga tao, pero in my opinion, this is a bad version of Batman. Deathstroke.
That's real.
Shit, Deathstroke.
Bad Batman, that would be Deathstroke. Physically, mentally, actually physically stronger kasi nakakapag-regenerate siya. Military tactic-wise, Deathstroke is on par with Batman. However, I guess siguro, again, kasi bida si Batman, kailangan na ipakita na laging one step ahead si Batman. But in my opinion, if Batman became a mercenary, that would be Deathstroke. So yun yung top 3 villains ko for Joker, Scarecrow, and Batman.
Nabigla mong may isip na sayang yung Deathstroke movie kasama si Ben Affleck. Sayang.
And they wanted to be dark then. I mean, maybe not dark as this one, but a dark version. Basically, the Batfleck universe, diba? So can you imagine having that type of movie? Which basically sinasabi nga ni Joe
Manganiello.
This Deathstroke here wants to destroy Batman inside and out. Bruce Wayne and Batman himself. So, sayang.
Talaga. Sobrang sayang.
Anyway, before we go on and move on to our talong rating, last question na gusto itanong sa atin ni Migo would be this one. And I think maganda usapan to na itakil natin for a bit. Best Batman for you, live action. Isama na natin Adam West, isama na natin si Val Kilmer,
George Clooney. Sinong pipili George Clooney? Putang ina.
Best Batman and best Batman movie for you. Best Batman movie, let's pick one. But the best Batman, rank your top 3 para interesting.
Sorry lang. Yung best Batman movie including the animated ones or
you can do that.
Live action lang.
Okay.
Yeah.
Live action.
Sino?
You go, Jim.
Sorry. Yeah. Unanimously, I have to go with The Dark Knight. It's really hard not to go there na sabihin ng tao na kasi mas maganda to the Batman, mas updated siya. No, bullshit. The Dark Knight tackled everything that you need to know about the Batman. Yung kung paano siya ginawa talaga. Not really perfectly, but yung dynamics na meron sila ni Joker. Actually, it wasn't really mostly of parang a Batman movie. It's more like of a Jokerish movie na kung titignan mo . How they the Joker and how he handled yung obstacles, yung morality niya, hanggang saan yung kaya niyang i-push sa morals niya. For example, nung paggamit ng yung sonar, sinabi sa kanya yun, if you go here, ni
Si
pangalan ng
Lucius
assistant niya,
Fox.
Lucius Fox, na if you go here, I will never work for you again.
Oo.
Sabi niya, just enter your name after you use it. So talagang meron moral si Batman na tinatakal ni Joker na you are not going to defeat me if you don't do this. And we could see that in multiple times sa team na yun, lalo na yung boat scene. You could see it there. Na sinong pipiliin ng tao? Magpapatayan ba sila para mabuhay? Or would they just allow fate to run its course? Pero kung tutuusin, kung wala si Batman, doon naman nagpatayan talaga yung dalawang factions na yon. The main reason why na maganda for me rin sa akin yung The Dark Knight is because the interpretation of Batman and Bruce Wayne. Ang hirap niyang itop dito. Yun yung one of the shining moments na meron dito. Especially yung, di ba, yung Batman doesn't have, Bruce Wayne has limits but Batman doesn't have. And it's a unstoppable force against a immovable object. And then sinama mo pa si Two-Face. And once again, maikli lang yung part ni Two-Face sa movie na to. But it worked far better than what we had with the Penguin. Guess why? Writing maganda. So, yung mga facets na ganun, simple lang talaga. You have to re-experience kasi The Dark Knight in order for you to appreciate it more, especially after you watch this movie, The Batman. You're going to love it more. And that's all for me pagdating doon. The Dark Knight, 2 thumbs up. And as of now, until we've proven wrong dito sa darating na trilogy na to, The Batman 2022 cannot unseat any of the Nolan trilogy except for The Dark Knight Rises. For me lang. So, yun.
Okay.
What about top 3? Your top 3 Batman live action?
Live action, syempre, yun number 1 na yun. Yung Dark Knight. Number 2 would be Batman Begins. Just because of...
Jim.
Yung actor.
Actors, the character itself. Like the
sorry.
Batman. Okay.
Bale, number 1. Sorry. Bale is number 1 for me. Number 2 is Affleck.
Okay.
Obviously. Nice. And number 3 is Keaton, close na si Pattinson sa kanya.
Alright.
Malapit na.
Alright.
So, I want to see more Pattinson. Ngayon na remind sa kanya, ni Migo na, magaling na actor nga talaga. Kasi may mga movies na napanood ko from yung Lighthouse. And I want to see more development. Not just Batman, guys. It's more like the entire deal kung sino talaga si Bruce Wayne. We have yet to see that here in a 3-hour movie, no less. Parang 3 oras na meron tayo dito and you can feature Bruce Wayne as Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
So,
exactly.
that's one of the main flaws na meron itong movie na to that people tend to overlook na maganda kasi yung story niya. If kung talaga maganda yung story niya, wala kaming reklamo talaga. Lalo na kaming dalawa ni Migo. Dahil yung story writing na kahit basic story writing, Migo admitted himself na hindi siya ganun ka-fan ng Batman other media besides the movies. Pero he picked up kung anong problema nitong movie na to.
You feel it.
Yeah.
Diba?
When we have a proper development of Bruce Wayne, siguro kung ginawa nila dito, I want to get a copy of this movie and then puputulin ko talaga. Gagawa ko ng sarili kong cut. Kung meron lang talaga available ngayon. Dahil
I agree totally.
Puputulin ko yung halos 1 oras dito to make it a good movie talaga na people would accept. At least in my standards.
Ramdam mo yung lengths ng movie, no?
Yeah. Hindi mo siya ramdam nung unang part, pero nung tumatagal na parang it's very Yun nga. So, when we get to see a proper Bruce Wayne ni Pattinson, siguro ma-justify ko na ma-unseat niya si Keaton. Pero for now, ang hirap sabihin na natapon ko si Keaton just because of Pattinson as Batman and not Bruce Wayne. I need to have the entire thing. The entire package.
Yeah.
I need to have that pizza na sinasabi ni Migo. So,
exactly.
Yun yung kailangan natin lahat. I think we all agree na kailangan natin talaga ng proper Bruce.
Oh, yeah.
Tama.
Agree tayo. Okay, go. Top Batman movie and then go for your top 3 Batman.
Yeah, pero agree ako rin sa sinabi ni JM. This movie, The Batman, would have been better if it was split into 2 somehow. It would have been, in terms of pace lang sa writing, it would have been better. Kasi,
para siyang limited series gago na pinagsama.
Dapat ginawa siyang 2-part series kung tutuusin or 3 even 3.
Or if you made this into a 2-part movie wherein yung Batman The Batman Part 2 would have been shown next year. Alam mo, hindi ganun kahaba yung wait time. This movie would have been, writing-wise, pacing-wise, would have been so much better. Sabi ko kasi kay Evan, if this movie ended wherein Bruce found out na his dad actually, quote-unquote, ordered to get killed yung reporter na yun, that would have been a great ending of this movie because the audience would have been questioning alongside with Bruce kung tama ba talaga yung pinaglalaban niya.
Mhm.
Kasi kung yung pinaka-core mo, which is yung family, at least in this movie, si Bruce, that's his core, kung yun pa lang, kine-question mo na, sino ka pa? If you end in that note, parang ang ganda na kagad. And then you try to continue it in the second movie, parang to resolve that and whatnot. Yung nag-usap na sila doon with Andy Serkis sa hospital. If you start the second movie with that, that would have been a better movie because it would have been, the pace would have been just, alam mo yun, parang it would have been better and how you felt about how the story was progressing would have been more natural,
Yeah.
not forced. Anyway, moving forward. Best Batman movie, undoubtedly The Dark Knight. You can't touch that movie at all. Because honestly, guys, it's more than Batman. The movie, The Dark Knight, that movie is more than the Batman.
Yeah.
That movie really paved the way for other movies on how their heroes are supposed to be told. Because this is the first movie that, technically speaking, in the eyes of the world that this hero is living in, is he's the villain and he lost. But in the eyes of the audience, of us watching, we know that there's a bigger play at hand. That it doesn't matter if that hero, quote unquote, hero lost in his universe, as long as we, the audience, knows his true intentions and his deepest character, it doesn't matter.
Mhm.
It's not just a superhero movie. It's really a new way of telling what a hero is for the modern era in cinema. Because before The Dark Knight, it was always supposed to be us, the audience, seeing the hero win in his universe. Always us seeing the Superman being celebrated as saving the world, so on and so forth. Basically, I mean, even the action movies in the 90s, always about celebrating the hero in the movie with the people in the universe. For me, The Dark Knight in 2008, am I right?
Yes, that's right.
2008. In 2008 really somewhat changed the formula in trusting the audience that they're smart enough to see that it doesn't matter how the hero is played in theaters or in the movie. What matters is what you as the audience understands what this hero is truly about. This hero might lose in the eyes of the movie inside the world, but he won everyone in the theaters who is watching because that is what matters. And if you can imagine, not all movies did that. I mean, some movies did that before the formula of the Dark Knight, but a lot more commercial franchises and movies tried to follow that narrative in the Dark Knight moving forward. You get the John Wicks, you get the um, you get Daredevil, you get a lot of, as in there's a lot of new genres and DNAs of storytelling that came about after the Dark Knight. It's not about Batman, it's how they told the story. That's why that movie's amazing. It's not about Batman, how they told the story. So for me, the Dark Knight talaga number one. Kasi it transcended Batman. That's how I feel about that movie.
Yeah.
Top three.
Go top 3, yeah.
Yeah, top three. Come on. Number one ko is Batman Forever because that movie is fucking shit.
The Batman. The Batman itself.
Character, man.
Joke lang,
Bad
joke lang.
game.
Sorry. Number one ko, Christian Bale. But, yung number two ko kasi si Ben Affleck.
Okay.
Pero yung distance nila together ni Batfleck at saka ni Bale, hindi ganun kalayo. Sobrang lapit. For me talaga iba kasi, I mean, what matters with Christian Bale as Batman is not him as Batman. It's what his movies represented. That's why for me, he really inches it for me. Pero yun na nga, if you want to keep it pure in the conversation, so to say, na parang who is the best Batman and Bruce Wayne. Sige, bibigay ko kay Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
That's why he's my close second. The only clincher for Bale is because of what his movies represented.
Mhm.
Alam mo, he might have been a lesser Bruce Wayne and Batman, but his movies were a better
Oo naman.
lahat.
Oo
Not
naman.
just Batman, not just a superhero movie, but even a movie than Ben Affleck. Third movie ko, honestly, guys, I would going to give it to Robert Pattinson. And this is me being very optimistic. The reason why I'm giving it to Robert Pattinson is because despite me not liking his Batman in this movie, because of the writing, not because of the acting, because of the writing, is because I see a lot of potential where this movie is going. This movie really won me over when he saw the apostle or yung tauhan ni Riddler say that he is vengeance. Nung nakita ni Paul Walker, ni Robert Pattinson, nakita ni Robert Pattinson na, shit, I'm wrong. Na mali itong ginagawa ko. That really injected a lot of really positive potential for the franchise and the character for me moving forward. Because I want to see that. I want to see a Batman who is wrong that doesn't want to be wrong again. A Batman who wants to transform himself, parang coming of age, from being just an angry boy who is very privileged to someone who is really ready to sacrifice everything just to actually make a change that make a positive change. Kasi in this movie, opening lines ni Batman, I'm wondering if I'm really making a change for this past 2 years of doing all this. At the end of the movie, sinabi ni Batman, I've always wondered if I made the change. And I did, but it wasn't the change that I wanted to be. And that was a great line. I mean, this movie lacked in writing, but how they tied those opening line and that ending line together really wrapped the idea perfectly on where this Batman is going forward. And I really like that. And it really gave me a lot of positive hope on where this Batman is growing towards. That's why number 3 ko, si Robert Pattinson as Batman.
Gets.
Okay lang bang may singit ako bago mag si Ivan?
Sige.
So, I would, totally agree. I think the main edge na meron talaga si Nolan Batman, Christian Bale, is we saw Batman from the ground up. Nakita natin yung adversity na talagang pagdadaanan ng tao in his version. To the point na he faced Bane, which is almost comic accurate na bumaksak siya ng todo talaga. So, you have that redemption series na yung almost year 1, yung Batman Begins. And then number 2, parang medyo identity crisis pa nga yung yung The Dark Knight because he's in conflict with himself. Because you met a character or a villain na is able to push you to limits na hindi mo alam na meron ka pala. So, you have that and elevated the character more. People can say shit regarding Rises, pero you could see that Batman again is going to face another difficult villain na he doesn't know how to figure out with Bane. And almost comic accurate yung kay Bane dito na matalino talaga siya.
Yeah.
So tactician siya. If nagawa ni kay Pattinson even yung base na meron sa Batman Begins, that could have elevated the movie far better talaga. Yun yung concern ko rin doon. And also, I wish the best na rin siguro dito sa Batman, yung kay Matt Reeves, whatever future projects na meron siya. Because us being fans na we want something better than the ones na come before it. But the problem is, you do have the Nolan trilogy. And that would be in the shadow kung kahit anong gawin niya. Kailangan niya mag-isip ng paraan na how to separate myself from that trilogy. And you're not going to get it with the length of the movie. Yun yung kasi yung sobrang habang movie na yun, alam mo kung saan ko dapat i-end yung movie na yun? I would have mixed yung nag-uusap si kahit sabihin mong dapat wala si Joker. I would have mixed that scene na si Joker nagsasalita and then palabas si Batman, hawak-hawak niya yung flare. I would have ended it there.
Gets.
That's actually
Kasi that's symbolic. That's a
Yes,
symbolic
yes,
thing.
yes.
Yes.
Dapat
Yeah.
doon tinigil nyo na yon. Even tanggalin nyo na yung tubig, yung everything na yung scene na yun na talagang palabas siya. Now you're seeing a shining hero of Gotham na
A
padating.
beacon of hope.
Yeah. Yeah. Yun
Yeah.
dapat yun. Hindi na natin kailangan yung
you're right.
'di ba? Yung huling monologue niya na kasi eventually you'll get that eh. And mas maganda kung sinabi niya yon in the next movie na realize niya, I have a lot more stakes here. Rather than just saving them, I need to preserve Gotham and I need to preserve our legacy as a family, as a Wayne, and then comes the Arkham series.
Yeah.
Yun na.
So,
Solid
yun
dyan.
Sorry, Wach. Sorry, medyo chatty ako pa.
Sige lang,
Oh
man.
no, that's a great point. I really, if the movie really ended in that, it would have been better also. And at least in peace.
Cliffhanger
Yup.
ending, di ba? Yun yung number one
Yes,
formula din
and
niya,
it's trusting the audience that they get the movie.
Yung kay Nolan kaya nag-work ng sobra. Kaya nga rinipost ko yun, tinag ko kayong dalawa eh.
Yeah.
Hindi ko pa matag si si Watch na hindi ko pa siya friend. Pero tinag ko kayo dahil I wanted people to see it again. Yung ending ng The Dark Knight. Kasi ganun na lang. If they end it that way, parang mag-iisip na yung tao, sige gusto namin ulit. Siyempre ipopush yun. Like yun sa Snyder Cut. Pinush nila na magkaroon ulit. So yun ang gusto ko maging impact ng fans ng DC na if what Snyder had dun sa medyo na Justice League niya, dapat ganito rin dito. I wanted people to have that same effect dito sa Batman na to. I want people to push it further na Matt Reeves, you have to listen to the fans. You have to deliver more. Yun yung gusto ko sa kanya. Of course, I'm just a simple content creator, 100 who would look into my opinion as a fact. Pero unifying us, four of us, na talagang alam natin yung gusto natin Batman, and we could unanimously say na we want something better talaga, Matt Reeves. Not because na pangit yung ginawa mo, it's because na we want you to nail down the basics ng Bruce Wayne. And yung storytelling mo, you have to do better. Sabi nga ni Falcon, you have to do better, Senator. Sabi yung ganon. So, yun lang talaga. And sorry, Ivan, nakuha ko ni oras.
Sige lang, man.
Thanks.
Wala kaso yun, man. Ako naman, best live action Batman. Pare, tangina, feeling ko pare-parehas tayo dito kasi wala talaga tatalo. Tangina, The Dark Knight, pre. Ito lang. Kasi nasabi nyo na parehas yun din yung mga points ko for that movie. Pero may sinabi kanina si Wach about this movie na, or The Batman, itong 2022, The Batman na, paano pag tinanggal natin siguro yung character ni Batman dito, feeling ko magugustuhan mo itong mga tao. Wala kang reklamo kasi kilala mo si The Batman. The great thing about The Dark Knight, pare, regardless kung tanggalin mo yung character design o ilagay mo yung character design, maganda yung movie na yun, pare. Putang ina. Yun yung kaya masasabi mo mas maganda pa rin tong The Batman kesa sa The Dark Knight. Kaya masasabi ko lang, pare, ang tawag dito, yung buong arc na pinakita nila with kay Harvey Dent, pare, dun pa lang as a side character. Gago, parang walang ganun sa The Batman, honestly. Na parang pinakita,
Kay Penguin, hindi mo
walang ganun, men. So, dun pa lang parang talo na agad yung The Batman. Pero basically, yung points nyo nga na sinabi nyo about The Dark Knight, yun din naman yung yun yung feeling ko masasabi ng lahat kung bakit maganda yung movie na yun. Pero yun nga, gusto ko lang i-drive home yung point kanina na sinabi nga ni Watch na parang itong The Batman maganda siya kung hindi Batman characters. Pero hindi, yung The Dark Knight with the Batman characters or without, maganda siyang crime drama, maganda siyang movie. Alam niya kung anong klase siyang movie, alam niya kung ano yung tone, alam niya kung ano yung message siya gusto niyang ibigay sa tao. That's why it's a great fucking movie. So, The Dark Knight. Yung top 1 ko, pare, ito yung sinabi ko na to sa Snyder Cut, or nakalimutan ko anong review yung sinabi ko nito eh. Pero ang top 1 ko, pare, si Ben Affleck, gago. Si Ben Affleck, yung reason why si Ben Affleck yung pinili ko, kasi tama si Migo, parang di ba close second niya si Ben Affleck, na maganda kasi movies ni Christian Bale. Pero ako masasabi ko, pare, if you've given Ben Affleck the script for The Dark Knight or the whole Dark Knight trilogy,
you could have seen a better character.
Ben Affleck would have done a better job than Christian Bale. I'm telling you, pare, putang ina, wala pa kahit sino magalit sa akin. Alam ko magaling na artista si Christian Bale. Sobrang galing ni Christian Bale. Pero bigay mo yung script na yun kay Ben Affleck, Pare, kayang-kaya ni Ben Affleck gumawa ng mas magandang Bruce Wayne. Magaling na, eto yung sasabihin ko, si Christian Bale was a good Batman. He was a great Batman. Pero hindi siya magaling na Bruce Wayne. Ina si Ben Affleck, kayang-kaya niya yun gawin, men. Dalawa. Kita mo na yun with BVS, tsaka sa kung ano yung kaya niyang gawin sana, and also with the Justice League. Nag-fall short lang dahil nga doon sa kung ano man yung problema nila sa studio na yun, putang ng Warner Brothers yan. Pero yun nga, kung binigay mo yung script na yun kay Ben Affleck would have done a better job than Christian Bale. Pero that's not saying na pangit na artist si Christian Bale. Kasi siya yung pinaka-close second ko, men. Na beneliktad ko lang yung kay Migo kasi yun nga, magaling din naman yung pagkaka-acting nila eh. Pero sa totoo lang, ito, parang hot take to pare, ewan ko lang ha. May chemistry ba talaga si Heath Ledger tsaka si Christian Bale?
Yeah, yes. I have to say yes.
Are you saying no?
Sakto lang, men, sa akin.
Say yes.
Oh, kasi magaling sila actor separately, maganda yung characters nila separately. Pero in all honesty, pare, pag pinanood mo uli, parang hindi sobre. Hindi ko sobrang nag-fit eh. Hindi ko sobrang. Kahit doon sa interrogation scene, tinitignan ko talaga eh. Bagay sila okay, pero hindi yung sobrang, hindi siya sobrang swak eh. May kulang, hindi ko alam kung ano, pare. Para sa akin.
You're feeling the disconnect sa kanilang dalawa.
Oh.
Yun siguro yung ano mo.
Basta, ewan ko, try to rewatch The Dark Knight. Alam ko ilang beses na natin napanood yung The Dark Knight.
Kung ano sinasabi mo.
I'll do it later.
Oo. Pero makikita niya yung sinasabi ko eh. Pero anyway, Christian Bale, close second. Ay, galing niyang artista. Ganda ng movies. The Dark Knight, yun nga. The Dark Knight yung best Batman live action movie ever. And the third one, masasabi ko, honestly, nagulat ako na sasabihin ko rin to. Pero si Robert Pattinson nga din yung third ko, man. Kasi, pinag-iisipan ko to eh. Kung si Michael Keaton nga ba, ang galing din ni Michael Keaton, ang galing niyang Bruce Wayne, man. Sabi ko, ang galing niya ring Batman. Pero, kasi the reason why si Robert Pattinson pinili ko sa third, kasi gusto ko talaga makita kung saan nila dadalhin to. Kung ang reason nila kung bakit one-dimensional yung Batman nila dito, kasi yun nga, hindi pa sobrang kilala ni Bruce Wayne yung sarili niya dito as Batman. Gusto ko makita yung character arc na yun in the second movie, pare. Kasi feeling ko kayang-kaya talaga i-drive home ni Robert Pattinson yung characterization ni Batman. Kung maganda lang yung pagkakasulat, yun nga lang talaga kinulang lang dito for the Batman for me. So, yun.
Sorry, I just have a question. Sinabi mo si tawag dito, Ben Affleck would have done a better job kung binigay yung script sa kanya ni Nolan. I think mahirap. Kasi iba yung physique ni Ben Affleck eh. To be honest eh.
Gets.
Yung siguro kapag binigay mo yung totoong tawag dito script ng sabihin natin The Dark Knight Returns, it would have been better yung bigay sa kanya. Ito question ko kay Migo pati kay Wach. What if si Robert Pattinson ang kumuha ng role ni
Christian Bale?
Ni Christian Bale.
He would do well for me.
Yeah.
The same.
Diba?
Ito, actually, sasagot ko later. Pero yeah, that's my point.
Sige. Yun lang yung tanong ko. Kasi parang naisip din ako na, siguro kung at that time sikat na talaga si
That's a good question. That's a very good question. Dude.
Actually, mas sila.
You could see medyo comparison na meron sa atin.
Gets.
Parang hindi lang talaga polished si Pattinson dito sa movie na to.
Gets.
And it's not his fault. Tama si Migo, it's not his fault. It's really not his fault. It's the fault of the screenwriters na ginawa nila to. They overestimated yung gusto nilang gawin. But yeah, siguro. Yun na yung question ko. Anyway, thank you.
Ivan, may nalagdag ka ba?
Yeah, wala na. Okay na. Tapos na ako doon sa ko.
Actually, since natanong mo yung GM, ito kasi yung choice ko. Okay, best Batman movie, definitely The Dark Knight. I guess if there was one movie na may taong magsabi sa'yo, can you give me a comic book movie that I should watch? I would definitely recommend The Dark Knight. I mean, to be honest, that movie is a movie. It's not a comic book anything. Pero
exactly.
It's a movie. It's
art. It's fucking art.
Yes, exactly. However, if there's one comic book movie that you really have to watch, it's just it eh. Kasi nandiyan sa genre na yun. It really is a comic book movie since it's a Batman. So, it's a masterpiece. Alam mo, you could compare it to like the other masterpiece like The Godfather and other stuff. That's how good that movie is. And I wouldn't
Yes.
go live since sasabi na lahat regarding the Dark Knight. Top 3 ko, first Batman ko would still be Ben Affleck. With a small sample size that he gave us, he did really, really fucking well. Why he's so comic book accurate. And the reason I really like that is because nasa kanya yung physique, nasa ganyan yung look. When he wears the cowl,
Pare, he's fucking Batman,
like,
gago.
Almost
Batman.
believable na
Yes.
Batman.
Pare, ito nga, sabi mo si nakakatakot. Gago lahat ng Batman siya nakakatakot. Bakit?
Siya.
Laki pa yun. Tindig pa lang niya. Siya kapag tinitiga ka niya, gago. Kung ikaw yung kriminal at tinitiga ka ng Batman na yun, gago.
na.
Bababa
It's
mo lahat.
over.
Na I think yung cowl, yung design ng cowl kasi talagang mukhang demonyo siya, gago.
Yeah,
Parang
it's
ganun
really
yung design
scary.
ng cowl.
Kasi ang laki ni Ben Affleck and also the scene yung nagbubuhat siya.
Oh, man, yung training scene niya, tayo ng bangis na doon, gago.
Pare, malaki siya. Tapos tinabi siya kay Henry Cavill. Gago, malaki siya.
Mas malaki pa siya kay Cavill.
Mas malaki pa siya. So when you see this Batman is really imposing. Diba? And also the Bruce Wayne, the small sample size we had when he was interacting with Gal Gadot in Justice League. No, I think it was in Justice League. BVS, sorry. BVS also sa party, the party scene.
Yeah.
That is a very good Bruce Wayne.
Yun nga eh.
Alam mo yun?
Diba?
It is.
And they also gave us a small sample size of his detective skills. How? First is in Suicide Squad, when he actually took down Deathstroke. Sorry, not detective skills, but more of like being just there as a man. And also yung kinuha niya si Harley Quinn. At also the same time, when he was trying to solve something in BVS with
Alfred.
Yeah, yung sinasabi niya, is this really a foe or a friend? Diba? The whole time, Alfred was saying Superman was a friend. But for him, he saw it as a foe. And at the same time, doon pinakita na, for Batman, he was really thinking about the world, the safety of the world.
The bigger picture talaga siya.
The bigger picture. So doon mo papakita kung ano yan sa comics, kung ano yan sa series, kung ano yung mga animated version. That was the Batman that we see. So I'm gonna put Batman or Batflick on my number 1. My number 2, there's a hot take in my opinion, is Robert Pattinson.
Oh shit.
The reason why is because ang ganda ng question sinabi mo. Kung nilagay si Robert Pattinson sa as Batman sa the
Dark Knight
Nolan
trilogy.
I think it would really work. I think
could have been better. It could have been better.
I'm not gonna say that, but that's a really good hot take. It could have been better. I would say yes. Why? Robert Pattinson is a very quality actor. I think he would do well. And the reason I'm putting him second here is because this is a fresh take on Batman that we've never seen before in any type of media. Not even in the comic books. They haven't showed Batman in the comic book this broken. Alam mo yun, Bruce Wayne in general, this fucking sad, this fucking emo, and it's really, it's really, really something na parang I'm really excited about. Alam mo, the potential here is something great, and it kind of gives us a subtle hope. Why? Again, yung mga later parts, doon mo nakikita na medyo nag-ease down na yung character. Ease down in a bad or a good way, we'll never know until we get
at this point, we'll never know. Siguro the next movie natin
diba? Yun nga eh. So alam mo parang there's a hope, especially with yun nga, nasabi ko kay Migo, with the subtle smirk, with the eyes of when he say, I am vengeance. So dito, basically nakikita mo na yung, okay, nag-evolve siya. Maybe the Bruce Wayne part would follow. Maybe the Bruce Wayne part would be like, oh, I should be a philanthropist. Diba? Yeah. Maybe the Bruce Wayne part would be, sabi niya, I don't care about what happens. My legacy is this. Maybe it turns to another section na parang, no, my legacy is Bruce Wayne and this. Diba? Yeah. So the hope is there. And then my third would be Christian Bale. The reason why I'm choosing Christian Bale as my third, ito hot take to, I never really enjoyed Christian Bale as Batman or Bruce Wayne.
Oh, dang. Okay.
I guess nasabi ko to before. I think before this, na-choose ko si Michael Keaton over
Christian
Bale. Because I really like Michael Keaton as Batman, to be honest. The reason I'm choosing him as my third, not Michael Keaton, is at the end of the day, maganda pa rin talaga yung trilogy ni Nolan.
Yeah.
And if I don't choose, and in my opinion, sa top 3, kung hindi ko ipapasok si Nolan doon, ay si Christian Bale doon, then what's the point of choosing The Dark Knight? Kasi at the end of the day, part pa rin siya. However, I am not so sold with him as Bruce Wayne,
diba? As
nor
Bruce Wayne.
nor as Batman. In my opinion. the reason why, napanood ko yung grounded na Batman na meron tayo ngayon. I guess that's one of the
Okay, gets.
It's one of the factors. And before, out of nostalgic, I would choose Michael Keaton here. But I have to just put Christian Bale right now here. As much, ayoko siya tanggalin eh. But there's a part of me na gusto ko sabihin si Michael Keaton yung third ko eh. But the thing is, The Dark Knight is the best Batman movie, so I still have to put him there.
Mhm.
So yeah, those are my top 3.
Mm.
Oh, I like how our choices are very diverse somewhat.
Oo.
Pero umikot pa rin sa ano.
Umikot pa rin sa tatlo.
And that's
Just
George Clooney, Val Kilmer, di mo itatapon mo. And
Men, pinakadulo doon si George Clooney, men. Tangina.
Pare, hindi. I guess JM would agree to this one. Titans, the Batman in Titans is the worst.
Ay, fuck! Oo
Is
nga!
the worst.
Oo, men!
It's the worst.
Oo, men! Si Aliri! Puta! Sino yan? Si Dishimina o
Mas
Kalishi.
malala pa. Sa Batwoman. Meron pa.
Oh, si Kevin Conroy? As
No,
Batwoman?
yung Batwoman. Yung Batwoman. Meron pang pumasok.
Oh,
na
wait.
si Bruce
Oh,
Wayne.
eh.
Di
Ko na
ko pa nakikita
pangit
yung
daw
Batman
eh.
doon. Hindi ko pa, oh,
Pangit
Panoorin mo,
daw
kahit
kasi.
panoorin mo lang sa YouTube, man, talagang matatawa ka because they tried to put in Batman in this stupid series, and then lahat ng mga negative aspects ni Bruce Wayne yung nilagay nila. As in, if you would imagine Hush,
yeah.
na down na Bruce Wayne, ganon yung kinalabasan.
Shit, that is.
Para siyang pretender talaga. Sabi ko, what's the point of this series going on pa rin hanggang ngayong Batwoman? Dapat tinigil na nila to dati pa eh. And then, I do hope, tigil na nila to, and then mag-focus na lang kayo dito sa gusto ni Batty Gibbs na kung si W kukuha, I really don't know. Mag-focus na kayo sa series na gagawin ni Batty Gibbs. Even ako,
I guess HBO Max is better.
Oh,
HBO is
yeah.
the one's gonna get it. Diba?
Hindi ako ganun ka-fan. Honestly, hot take here my end, hindi ako ganun ka-looking forward because I don't really want to see a series regarding Penguin. Alam mo kung sino gusto ko makita? I want to see, kung side characters lang, I want to see a series regarding Alfred. Yun ang gusto ko makita. Because it's going to be far more interesting, especially in this mythos na ginagawa nila ngayon. Basically, wala tayong nalaman sa kanya eh. And why is he always... Bakit sinabi sa kanya ni Bruce na you're not my father? Talaga ba may tension?
Yeah.
Yeah.
None of those have been discussed in this movie. So, and also, the biggest point there I like to drive home why I want Alfred, kasi he's one of the most underrated characters dito sa Bat family. Halos parang nangyayari lang butler lang siya. Deep inside, may history talaga siya. That's why he knows a lot about yung mga battle sequences ni Bruce Wayne, how to defeat yung ganito ganyan. Matalino si si Alfred.
Tsaka naging na siya, no? Parang army or parang dati siya
Yung bagong itineration,
Special Forces siya lagi.
Tawag dito ni Alfred for the past few years, ginaganyan na siya eh. Kasi diba before talagang you're just a butler. You're basically just taking care or the fodder of material. Pero ngayon, they're putting a very layered Alfred in a lot of medias right now. Pennyworth, diba? Ginawa sa series.
I would have watched better siguro kung yung si Jeremy Irons na series ang ginawa nila ng...
Sayang nga yun. Interesting din yun.
Pare, that Batman universe, the Batman universe...
Sobrang sinayang.
Where basically Batflick and Jeremy Irons exists, sinayang yun.
Sayang talaga.
And
kahit gawin na standalone, tapon na nila yung Justice League, sila na lang iwan, no? Okay pa ako eh. Goods na ako eh.
Justice League is actually very fucked up yung ginawa nila doon. Ngayon, The Flash will be fixing everything.
Flashpoint nga to eh.
In the sense na, fixing na marami silang tatanggalin na tao from the Snyderverse.
Kaiyak.
Sila kakasar. So, what's the point na yung Snyderverse people, what's the point na para mag-campaign pa kayo na mag-campaign? It's obvious na ayaw na ng
Warner Brothers. Wala na
bigyan na lang kayo. And ako, sobrang underwhelming ako. Another hot take, kapag pinanood mo ulit yung Snyderverse version na Justice League, and you watch yung Justice League na yung regular, you would see story-wise and even writing-wise, mas maganda yung ginawa ni dun sa original na linabas.
Wait, kay Joss Whedon? Hot take yun, pare.
Try watching it again and tignan mo yung subtleties na ginawa nila and i-compare mo dun sa sa Snyder Cut yung mga original parts. Makikita mo kung gaano ka bad take yung ginawa talaga ni Zack Snyder, kasi most ng mga dialogues na hindi natin na-enjoy dun sa Snyder yung kay Whedon Cut, it's exactly in the Snyder Cut. So yun pa lang, parang nakita ko na So basically, wala talagang inayos si si Whedon dito. He did almost everything from the existing parts na meron yung yung
Because
movie nito.
talaga, yeah.
Oo.
Nag-shoot lang, limited lang ni-reshoot nyo dun eh.
So, hindi ko ma-fault si Whedon ngayon kahit na gaano ka-shit na siya yung person na niya ngayon, di ba? Marami na naririnig natin regarding sa kanya. Hindi ko siya nung na-realize ko, hindi ko masabi na pangit siyang director. Kung if you're going to take over something na meron na and ayaw nilang paputol yung karamihan. So, ang hirap talaga. Yun yung pinaka-hot take ko dun sa all DC things na
Nice.
talagang binigyan ko yung ng yung Justice League ni Whedon kumpara kay Zack Snyder. Again, sobra haba rin kasi. They would have done that into series.
So you like how Whedon got over?
I didn't like it per se.
How it
I mean,
ended.
I love the
How it ended
characters.
specifically.
I like
for
it in
me,
a sense na
for
yung
me how
story
it
niya.
ended,
Yung story niya.
where the Flash changed everything in the end. I think that's really how yun yung pinaka change of heart ko with the Snyder cut and the Whedon cut.
Oo. Ako
It's
magiging
that
debate to
Flash
dito.
thing.
Baka maba tayo.
Ano to, parang...
Pero siguro, just to answer that, on my end, the main reason why hindi ko nagustuhan yung scene na yun, I liked it in the first watch ko. Definitely. Kasi fan ako Fan ako ng DC. Kahit anong gawin ko, hindi ko pwedeng ano yun. The main reason why medyo nag-cheapen yun, kasi you're not going to really use the Speed Force ng ganun-ganun lang. And kapag pinanood natin yung The Flash na series, even doon sinabi nila, whatever happens in the Speed Force, nagagamitin ko siya in order to manipulate anything. There will be consequences na mangyayari doon sa world na yun. So, hindi nila linagay sa Snyder Cut yun, which is na parang
consequences. Yeah.
Hindi nila linagay yun. Parang tumakbo na lang siya, I need to break this, I need to break that. Parang inisip ko, nung second watch ko, so, yung tinignan ko yung lore ni Flash, lalo na yung Flashpoint Paradox, yung movie nila. Doon ko na-realize na this is messed up na wala nangyari talagang proper na consequences na ginawa niyo regardless kung maganda o pangit. Ang maganda lang, nabuhay lang sila uli. Yun lang.
Yes. Walang butterfly effect na nangyari.
Sasagutin nila doon sa The Flash. But I don't really have much faith dito. Dahil just based sa nakikita ko, I hope to be wrong. Lahat ng negatives ko, kahit na-blast ako ng tao, blast nyo ako, I hope to be wrong. Because just like you, I want to go back just being a fan, not a critic.
We want to be blown away.
Yeah, so I'm gonna give you a toast then, gentlemen. 50th 50th episode nyo. It's been fun talaga being with you.
Solid. Sa usapan, Batman
Solid Pag Batman episode.
Pag Batman talaga, men.
Technically, ito yung naging bread and butter or naging start
men, kasi ito yung simula natin
So, see you guys again after 2 years sa susunod na episode.
Pero bago tayo umalis, tara, italong rating natin to kasama si JM.
Yes.
Okay guys, so guys, ito na ang portion ng show kung saan bibigyan namin ng score or rating ang aming movie na pinag-usapan yun. Ito ang talong rating. So Ivan, hit it.
Hindi nagpe-play, hayop.
Okay, saba.
Yun.
Talong rating.
Yun. Nampucha naman.
Okay, Jeff, since ikaw ang guest namin, ikaw ang una namin bibigyan chance magbigay ng talong rating. So for this, The Batman, what is your talong rating?
I think hindi siya echo chamber yung sasabihin ko. I've already said most of my sentiments. If we're going to break this down, siguro it will going to take another hour for me to talk regarding sa flaws of the movie na to. And I've echoed the sentiment din na if I was given a cut, kunyari ako si Zack Snyder, bigyan ako ng cut nito, marami akong puputol para ma-enjoy ko ng todo.
Same.
But with the existing things that we have here in The Batman to 2022, which we longly awaited since 2020 or 19, I can't remember, medyo disappointed pa rin ako because we didn't see Ben Affleck. That's one of the worst things na ang iniisip ko ngayon na I should have seen Ben Affleck rather than this because I wanted the vision. Him against Deathstroke and probably the Court of Owls. And also Ra's al Ghul. Parang yun na yung direction na ginagawa nila But I can't complain. Sinabi ko na kay Migo to kanina, mas mababa pa dapat yung ibibigay ko dito. Pero once I reflected it, giving it a chance, medyo generous na ako pagdating sa chance, I will give this around 7.5.
Okay.
Kanina 7 lang.
That's a good score.
Because nahawa na ako sa inyo na maging optimistic pagdating sa future nito. Pero in back of my head, please don't make this mess again, Matt
Yeah.
Reeves.
I feel
Learn
it.
from this one. You have to learn from the people before you. Learn from Tim Burton. Actually, na-perfect mo yung Gotham eh. Wala na kaming hihingin dun eh. Gotham as a character, you already did that. Selena Kyle, Catwoman, medyo shaky pero okay pa rin siya. And the next opponent na meron sa Batman, we still don't know kung ano talaga. And one thing na hindi pa natin na-mention, there is a Bane Easter egg dito sa movie na to.
Yes.
We don't know if he used
Yung
an
adrenaline.
adrenaline or
The
venom.
adrenaline.
Kasi kulay
Venom.
green siya.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, the Venom.
Yeah!
And that changes everything. Kaya inaantay ko magsalta si Wach regarding dito.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. That's a good Easter egg. Hindi ko napansin
Kaya
yun.
nung dinagay na yung ganun, nagwala siya. You're
Nagwala
not
siya,
going
yung
to
rage
really-
mode niya.
You're not going to experience that in the natural lang talaga, adrenaline. Nakita mo kung paano niya pinound down yung na yun, yung thug na yun. Talagang his intention was to kill. And you'll only get that when you ingest venom. As we see on the Arkham series, pagdating kay Joker. Nung ginamit na niya yun, talagang wala na. Gusto niya patayin si Batman. So, speaking of the future nito, I hope na yun lang. Sana maganda siya. And looking forward na whatever Matt Reeves does, he would learn from this first film na ginawa niya regarding this very beloved character that we all adore. And again, 7.5 out of 10.
Alright, great.
Sobrang solid yung Easter egg na yun about
Oh, hindi ko
Bane.
napansin.
Hindi ko
Napansin yun?
Hindi ko napansin. Hindi ko napansin.
Now it's making me
Hinighlight niya yun yung green vein, di ba, pagka-pump sa kanya. It was
Oh, yun yung
I was
napansin ko
facing
pero
the
hindi
pen.
ko na ano yung sinabi.
Me too. I'm too dumb to catch that. For
Kaya-
me, pare, to give this movie a rating, honestly, I want to give this movie a 7. That's the I'll be transparent. That's the rating that I want to give it. But it feels unfair to give it a 7 because I know that this movie is good. Kumbaga, if you're just going to give me or ask me emotionally what I would give this movie, I would give it a 7. But if you really want a well thought out score, I will give this movie an 8. The reason why I'm gonna give this movie an 8 is because, like I said earlier, this movie is a really good movie. They did a lot of things here well. The only problem that this movie truly faced, other than the writing, is that this movie is a Batman movie. This movie is a legacy movie. The problem of this movie is not because of the writing and all that. You could argue that it is, but the problem is it has a lot of things going behind it. It's just like, for example, if you're Kobe Bryant and then you retire from the Lakers, and then another, let's say, Russell Westbrook goes into Lakers and he's not Kobe Bryant, you're really gonna look at that guy lower than what he really is emotionally. But if you want to be really logical, alam mo yun, the only problem of that person is that he's not who he is replacing. And who is this movie replacing? Ben Affleck,
Ben Affleck.
Christian Bale, Snyderverse, and the Nolanverse. That is a very high bar to reach. That's why initially, emotionally, bibigay ko dapat to ng 7. Pero when I really try to think about it, that's kind of unfair because that's just my emotions talking. I'm gonna give this movie an 8 because there is a lot of good things about this movie and you should watch it. And there's also a lot of potential of this movie being better moving forward. Perhaps even better than its predecessors, hopefully. That's how much optimism I have in this movie. And I really hope it does not fail me. So I'll give this an 8 out of 10.
Solid.
Okay, Matt, go.
Ako naman pare, parehas kami ni Migo kasi pinag-usapan namin to nung gabi na yun, nung pinanood namin yung The Batman, na parehas kami ng score. Actually, ang score ko, 8 nung una. Tapos,
Yep, same.
nung pinag-uusapan namin, bumagsak. Kasi ang dami, nung pag-usapan namin, ang daming problema. Sabi ko, pare, parang lasing na kami dalawa, tangina. Pare, this movie's a fucking 7. Gagano kami dalawa doon sa bahay ni Migo, gago. Pero, yun nga, na-realize namin after nun, nahimasmasan na kami pagkatapos nung parang inis namin, parang initial na inis namin dun sa movie.
Wala na yung Venom. Wala na yung Venom.
Wala na yung Venom. naisip namin na parang kasalanan nga na bigyan to ng 7 kasi basically nagsasalita kami doon sa parang dahil masyado kaming maraming kino-compare dito sa movie na to. Pero sa totoo lang, as it is pare, yung movie na to is good. So parang kung ang tawag dyan, para dun sa mga taong papasok dito sa movie na to, pangit siya bigyan 7 kasi yung expectations sila para dun sa 7, mababa siya for this movie. Pero in all honesty, 8 talaga siya. Kumbaga yung movie, kung paano siya, 8 siya. Pero ako personally, dahil hindi ko nagustuhan yung mga choices nila in the movie, kaya ako lang siya binibigyan ng mas mababang score, yun, dahil lang dun. Pero yun nga, pares kay paring Migo, bibigyan ko siya ng 8 itong movie na to. Para lang doon sa mga tao na ang tawag dyan na parang nag-e-expect or parang nakikita tong movie as it is, na hindi sila Batman fans, pare. Kumbaga, parang binibigyan ko siya ng 8. Tsaka at the same time, parehas kay Migo, and I think pare-pares tayo dito na optimistic tayo kasi maganda na yung pinakita nila dito, kailangan pa nilang pagandahin lang. Kasi maraming ang mali. 'Di ba? Pero yun nga, optimistic ako about doon sa mga sequels sa itong movie na to. Pero yun nga yung bibigay ko, 8 inches out of 10, pare.
It's a diamond in the rough. That's how I see it.
Okay, for me naman, nung nag-start ako panoorin itong movie, sinasabi ko sa kanya, naglalaro ito 7 to 8. Once I get out of the movie, 7 to 8. Sabi ko, in my second viewing, hindi ko alam kung bababa o tataas. However, once na marinate na yung movie after a while, napaisip ko, this movie wouldn't go down an 8. I wanted to watch it again just to see if it would go up than 8, but I didn't get an opportunity to rewatch it again. However, by seeing and talking to you guys, I would honestly say, para lang maiba ako, and I'm really, really going to say this na, I really enjoyed this movie a lot. And, yes, it has its flaws. Definitely with the pacing. I would honestly say 20 to 25 minutes of the movie could have been cut, and the movie would have been better, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So may mga scenes siya. However, I guess and also the Batman that we got here was something that we don't normally get and they expect. However, it's something fresh, and I was really optimistic with it. And I wouldn't say I enjoyed it, but more of like I was curious and parang, oy, putang ina, okay to. Alam yung ganung feeling. So yeah, mas nataas ako na ng konti yung score sa inyo kasi gusto ko na talaga ito bigyan ng mataas na score dahil sa other characters. I really enjoy all the other characters. Every one of the characters. It's even in Dune, I don't think lahat ng characters sa Dune na-enjoy ko, pero dito na-enjoy ko lahat. As in, from Falcone, kay Alfred, kay so I again, binuhat si Batman dito sa movie na to. Sabi ko,
Yun nga yun.
for that. But I have to agree with Migo na moving forward, there's a big chance that this could be better or at least with par with the Nolan trilogy. Just a chance, okay? We're not saying. Hindi pa namin sinasabi na guaranteed, but from the looks of it, there is a big chance. And
They're in the right path.
They are very in the right path. So for me, I'll give this an 8.5. An 8.5.
Okay.
Di ko siya man 9 kasi tangina yung pacing talaga eh. Yung pacing talaga yung pumatay for me. And I guess going at 9 at Dune level, no, I would still say I'd still pick Dune over this if you're gonna ask me as of the moment. Yeah. So,
Okay.
8.5.
Yeah.
Go.
If I didn't go. Just one thing na alala ko, dapat sinabi ko to kanina, tatawa na ako. The final puzzle wasn't solved by Batman. The final puzzle was solved by Detective Martinez.
Yes.
Oh.
Regarding the
na carpet
scraper.
Yeah.
Carpet scraper. Yeah.
So, dun pa lang sabi ko, why are you highlighting this? Dapat si Batman ang nito, makakasolve nito, not you. Parang, God. Yun lang.
Parang, by the way, yung pa pala, the reason
masyadong pagka naglagay ka kasi ng coincidence, parang bad writing yun eh.
No, pero underpowered pa si Batman. Again, baka sabihin na bago.
We're talking about a Batman na ill-experienced, year 2, year 1 Batman, so we're going to give it the chance. Yun siguro yun.
Benefit of the doubt.
Benefit of the doubt nga.
Exactly.
Tama.
Yeah.
Alright.
Kaya hindi siya maging 9. Yan. Anyway, score mo na.
Alright, so yung nakuha nating score pare sa yung average natin is 8 out of 10. It's a very fair score. Ito yung score na gusto nating ibigay lahat para dito sa sa Batman, feeling ko. Saktong-sakto to para dun sa mga opinion natin about this movie. Mga pre, kaya yung mga tigang natin, pa hinihintay nyo, go watch it in theaters.
Yeah.
It's out
It is
now.
the truest score that you can find online, seriously.
Oo.
After all the conversation.
Yeah, I
It's
Mm.
the
think so.
truest score that
Yun
you
yung
can find.
nakakatawa eh, no? Parang kahit gaano mo i-breakdown yung movie, tas sinasabi mo na parang pangit yung movie na, yung ibang parts sa movie na to, mag-a-arrive ka pa rin sa isang score na maganda. So,
We're giving credit where credit is due.
oh
Yeah,
pare,
exactly.
yun nga yung sinabi ko, parang sinabi ko to in one of our episodes na pare, that's a great thing about movies. Pare, hindi, yun yung, ano eh, parang ginawa sila para pag-usapan, men. So, itong
Yeah.
movie natin is probably one of the perfect movies to, ano eh, na perfect example para sabihin na ito yung kailangan nyo pag-usapan pagkatapos nyo panoorin yung movie na to.
Yeah.
Yeah, great choice. Alright, so JM, maraming salamat. Sinamahan mo kami
Aha.
ngayon sa aming episode.
Definitely.
Finally, nagkaroon tayo ng episode together and let's cook up more episodes soon. Remember yung talk natin regarding the battle of the podcast.
Oh,
So
yeah.
hopefully magawa natin.
Aha.
And then we're looking forward to having you here and do more contents with you, JM. So maraming salamat.
It's been a pleasure, guys. And kaya trino ko lang din kay, kay Migo na kaya. Sabi ko, pre, kapag may Batman kayo,
Yeah.
might as well,
Buti na sabi
You've been
mo,
saying that
man,
since last
Buti na
week.
sinabi mo. Yeah, buti na sabi mo. At least
Yeah.
nahabol agad.
So, kasi I know you guys, I've been following you guys for almost a year na kung tutusin. And
Uy.
I do appreciate yung, kahit na iba-iba yung take natin on something, there's something about the Batman or even any movie na napanood natin that would say na enjoy natin. There's something, may kinship doon na, yeah, we're just going to talk about
Yes.
something we love.
Yun nga.
Sobrang negative na yung mundo ngayon. Sige, let's enjoy this for the meantime.
exactly.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
magtatalong ano pa ba kayo? Magre-recommend pa ba kayo?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Piniling
pwede,
talong.
sige, tara, let's go piniling talong. Real quick, piniling talong for everyone. Alright, so guys, ito piniling talong of the week kung saan magbibigay kami ng recommendations para panoorin nyo this week or this coming weekend. Ito ang piniling talong of the week. So Jem, what is your piniling talong of the week?
It's hard kasi parang gusto kong kumuha ng Batman movie pero tama na kasi alam na nila kung napapanoorin nila out of that. I would go with something different. And it's still a superhero movie. It's a very, not really bad. This is something na gusto kong makita ng proper remake in the right director. And this character inspired the Batman, kung tutusin. It's The Shadow.
The Shadow. Ooh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, hindi ko alam to.
Kasi,
I haven't seen that.
yeah, you should watch it. Hindi siya ganun kaganda. But the lore itself, when you get to see yung comics niya or even yung source material niya, makikita mo doon na, yeah, this could have been Batman with guns.
Okay.
Yun talaga.
Nice.
Meron silang crossover comics na sila magkasama na kapag shake hands pa si Bruce Wayne, Batman sa kanya. Sabi niya, Shadow, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be here.
Oh shit, that's cool.
Wow.
Yun. Kasi yun ang main inspiration niya. I'm not sure kung sino yung writer nun, pero yun. I forgot kung sino. Alec Baldwin pala. Si Alec Baldwin, which again, yun yung gusto ko maging Bruce Wayne dati. Si Alec
Oh, si
Baldwin.
Alec
Kasi
Baldwin.
bagay na bagay sa kanya.
He actually shot to someone last year.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Sorry about
It's,
that.
yung medyo deep na yung marami
Awit
akong
yun.
comments regarding but
Yeah.
yung ano niya, yung character niya dito, you could see him parallel ni Bruce Wayne and also Batman. When you watch it, makikita mo, oh yeah, I could understand kung bakit nila pinattern si Bruce Wayne Batman dito sa character na to. Mayaman siya. He wanted to discover something along the way and then eventually nakuha niya yon. This could be comparable dun kung kailan niya na-meet si Ra's al Ghul. Actually, if you're going to decongest it, kung pipili ako ng isang Batman movie existing from the Nolanverse specifically, this would be the low-tech version ng Batman Begins.
Yeah.
So, yun sa akin. There's a lot more movies na pwede kayong panoorin. Even Enter the Dragon, panoorin nyo. Maganda siya. So, yun. The Shadow, recommended, not good, but it's still recommended if you just like to have fun.
Okay, interesting.
Movies. Panoorin nyo, maganda siya. Maganda. I mean, it's just fun watching it. Yeah.
Solid.
Okay. What about you, Migo?
For me, as I've said earlier, you need to watch ASAP The Kingsman. The Kingsman
Yeah.
is better than the Batman. Period.
Oh, interesting.
not because I'm biased or I'm hating on the movie, but when you see this movie, again, judging it by its legacy, the first two Kingsman movies, arguably, siyempre mas malaki yung stand standards ng The Batman. But the point that I'm trying to get across to people is that this is how you reinvent a formula without changing the heart and the core of the movie. You need to see
Okay.
the watch because uh because of the very reasons on why we like the Batman. We like the Batman because number one, iba yung genre. Number two, iba cinematography, iba yung style, iba yung tone, iba yung interpretation ng world. Pero somehow, ang ayaw natin sa Batman is how they interpreted Batman.
Mhm.
What's good with the Kingsman is maganda yung interpretation ng world, maganda yung bagong integration ng history, and they didn't even fail on where they were or they didn't fail on where they were before. What I mean by that is that where Batman failed, Kingsman succeeded. Kung saan yung legacy ng Batman before, kinda underwhelming, dito sa Kingsman, it was served well, perfectly. And it wasn't even trying to be pretentious.
Mhm.
This movie, actually, pare, Kingsman is a very pretentious movie. The first movie, not really. The second, yes, for
Ah.
me personally. The second Kingsman movie was very pretentious. Why? Because it was trying to be Kingsman 1. That's why it was pretentious. The reason why the Kingsman now, yung movie na to recommend ko is really good, is they really made a honest movie where they used the lore and the characters well. At the same time, they used new integrations of the story. Parang yun nga, yung history, World War One, and all that. I can talk about this movie longer, pero honestly, you guys just have to see this movie because this is a franchise evolution done well. The Batman is a franchise evolution done okay. The Kingsman is a franchise evolution done well.
Okay.
That's why I would say that the Kingsman is better than the Batman because where Kingsman succeeded, Batman failed. That's what I was gonna say. Writing lang, yun lang. This movie is really good. Watch it right away. As in, this movie has heart, but it's also cheesy because the Kingsman is cheesy. Pero regardless of that fact, this movie still hits those two kinds of threads together in such a good way na hindi mo magugulat ka na lang na parang, oh, we arrived here. So, a beautiful surprise of a movie.
Shit,
Okay,
panoorin
ikaw,
gan.
Ivan.
Next ito, panoorin gan. Tawag dyan. Ako, babalik ako sa Batman. Pero ano to, feeling ko hindi lahat ng tao, feeling ko Batman fans sa panood na nila, pero hindi lahat ng mga casual moviegoers napanood na to. Pipiliin ko is Batman Under the Red Hood.
Oh,
Dahil
yeah.
Batman Under the Red Hood, pare, isa to sa mga, ito yung
Best
una at saka
animation
yung
ng Batman.
pinakamagandang animation ng Batman to, Ben. Tsaka dito nga inintroduce si Red Hood, isa sa mga favorite kong Robins, pare. So, part ng Bat family si Red Hood. Kasi basically, yun yung sinabi mo, Batman with guns. Ang ina, yun din si Red Hood, men. Pero ito din yung masasabi ko. Ito yung movie na basically nag-question sa akin kung maganda bang character si Batman. Dahil dun sa basically sa sinabi, tsaka dun sa nangyari sa movie na to. Kaya gustong gusto ko siya.
Yeah.
Kasi yung moral compass ni Batman, doon mo na-realize kung ikaw yung tao, tama nga ba yung pinagagagawa ni Batman. And sobrang ganda ng pagkaakwento nila dito sa kung paano mali si Batman. Kahit na sinabi niya yung rason niya kay Red Hood dun sa dulo. And also,
Yes.
shout out kay sino yun? Yung voice actor ni
Jensen Ackles.
oh, kay Red Hood. Actually, lahat sila
Jensen
ah,
Ackles. Siya
dito
na si
sa
Batman di ba? Sa The Long Halloween siya naging yung Batman.
siya yung
kaya nga,
Batman.
Full circle.
Sobrang gusto ko yung voice acting dito sa animation na to. And also, pare si John DiMaggio as the Joker. Pare underrated siya. Lahat parang sinasabi, si Mark Hamill yung GOAT. Mark Hamill yung GOAT as the Joker, pero you have to give credit where credit is due. John DiMaggio did a great job as Joker dito sa movie na to. Putang ina, sobrang nakakatakot din siya. Galing.
Nice.
Oh, si Jensen Ackles pala yung Red Hood dito.
Yun.
Yeah. Siya yung si Red Hood dyan. And then sa
Batman.
Batman yun.
yung Halloween, siya na yung Batman.
Pero siya rin yung bagong Batman yun, di ba? Kinasya for new animated.
Well, hopefully hindi na sa CW.
Hindi,
Hopefully hindi na sa CW.
sa
Kasi
animated series, hindi siya yung sa New 52 nung
No,
nilabas.
there's
Or
a new
animated
one.
movies
Recent-
pala.
gagawa pa sila ng bago.
Animated, may bagong lalabas
Hindi ko alam yung
bago
bago.
ng Bruce Wayne.
Kasi gusto niya maging Bruce Wayne Batman talaga even before pa nasa Supernatural siya. Lagi niya sinasabi yun, I'm Batman. Lagi niya sinasabi yun.
I think I saw that somewhere.
Meron kasi si Keanu Reeves based dun sa Pets.
Yun yung sinabi ko. Alam ko nung tinag ko sila.
Yeah.
Yeah, yung magiging
Sila Kevin Hart ba to?
Yeah.
Yung aso.
Yeah, set to become in a new TV show. TV show pala siya magiging bagong Batman na in works. Anyway, for me naman, ang pinitanong ko, same like Ivan, mamimili tayo ng Batman film. I guess this is one of the best animated after, I guess, the Under the Red Hood and also the Mask of Phantasm.
Phantasm.
Yeah, yun yung isa sa pinakamaganda rin. Basically, yung ating original na DC animated movie.
Isn't that an old movie?
Yes, it is an old movie. Pero
animated.
sobrang ganda niya. Sobrang
Yeah?
ganda niya.
Oh, okay.
So, the movie that I'll be picking is The Dark Knight Returns Part 1 and
Oh, shit! That's a good movie, pare.
Ben Affleck.
Those are good movies.
I appreciate mo sa Ben Affleck.
Kung,
talaga dito.
yeah,
There you
definitely. Kung hindi kayo familiar kung anong movie yan, basically, dyan nagkaroon ng inspiration yung BVS.
Yeah, that was the hype.
That was the hype on the Part 2. And also, the reason ba't gusto ko to, you get to see an old Batman, an old Superman, an old Joker. Basically, everyone here is old. And also, an old Oliver Queen. So, it's nice to see Batman and Oliver Queen in the same movie, which, by the way, those are technically my top two
Solid
DC
dyan,
heroes.
man. Ganda
So,
ng
it's
scene
nice to see them. And also, the fact na ang makikita mong Oliver Queen dito is walang left hand.
Wow, putol yung braso, gago.
And also,
Putol yung braso.
you will see something here that you will not see in modern Batman stories. That one thing na sinabi niya na hindi niya gagawin. You'll see it here.
Yeah, he did. That's with
And
the
also-
thugs, right?
Yeah. And also, yung voice actor niya is RoboCop. Peter Weller.
Oh, shit!
I didn't know.
Hindi ko alam
I didn't
yan.
know na si RoboCop yun dito.
Pero siya yan.
Maganda yun kasi, Ivan, ang story dito, nung namatay si Jason Todd, nag-retire siya. So basically, kung ano yung parang continuation. Pero hindi siya continuation ng Under the Red Hood. It's more of like a
Standalone story to eh.
It's part of the year one. Technically, in comic-wise, it's part of Batman year one. Yun yung continuity.
Okay.
Pero yeah, it's a great animation. Actually, kung meron mang isang animated film na sana gawin nilang live action to the point na lahat live action. So yung buong animated din gagawin mo live action. This is my pick.
Returns.
The Dark Knight Returns Part 1 and Part 2. So guys, yan ang aking piniling talong of the week. So anyway, maraming salamat sa lahat ng tigang na sumama sa amin today, sa lahat ng comment, sa lahat ng join sa aming The
Let's
Batman
go!
discussion, and to JM.
Excited.
Join us. So JM,
Saya.
invite them on your podcast. Let's go.
Again, my name is JM Cruz, and I have a small podcast or content creation, whatever. It's called 0 Hour Discussions. I usually talk about movies then, though medyo polarizing tayo dahil sa inyo more positive ka. Ako medyo negative ako just because of the bullshit na nakikita ko. Alam ni Evan to eh. Siguro nakikita ni ni Nico, pero I try to be positive. Yeah, I do try to be positive, especially kapag international yung nagiging guests natin. Dahil parang, I need to talk to them positively. Pero there are some instances kasi na kaya negative ako. Parang ayaw kasing pag-usapan ng tao yung negatives sa movie. That's one thing na nagustuhan ko rin sa inyo. Dahil at least dito, kahit positive kayo, you don't deny na may mali talaga sa nangyayari sa movie na to. Or even movies in general, which I really love. So, next week, I'll be watching Dog Soldiers with a gamer. Si Denise Nicole will be watching that and will be reacting to it. And after nun, siguro the next Friday, hopefully, kasi feeling ko babalik na lahat sa opisina. Anyway, babalik na sa opisina by end of the month. Meron pa akong isa pang episode. But besides that, there's nothing really going on. And I really thoroughly enjoyed this discussion. This went way too long na nga kung tutusin kumpara sa mga ibang ginagawa nyo.
It's perfect.
Yeah, but it is Batman and it's something
Kailangan
we all love. And yeah, sorry, Ivan.
Kailangan siya pag-usapan ng ganun eh. Alam mo yung in detail, pare.
And this is the funny thing. Itong 3 hours na to, we just scratched the surface kung ano talagang reklamo natin.
Yes. Mas
Yun yun. So,
mahaba pa talaga pag-uusapan dapat.
but yeah, Wach, Migo, Ivan, thank you so much for having me here and hopefully next time ulit.
Salamat din, men. Salamat sa oras, tol.
Thank you, my friend.
Thank you. So, ayan, outro na kayo, guys.
Alright guys, thank you for watching episode 50. Sana nagustuhan niyo yung episode namin about The Batman. Do you agree? Do you disagree sa mga takes namin? Hopefully, meron kayong nakuhang bagong nugget sa mga discussion namin kasi marami kami pinag-usapan sa episode na to. And we hope na somehow nag-cultivate namin yung thoughts niyo about the movie and how you really feel about it. At the same time, if you want to see what I'm doing, check nyo lang yung Flick Friends sa Facebook. Doon ako gumagawa ng movie reviews, series reviews. Doon din ako gumagawa ng mga kagaguhan na memes. At the same time, if you want some fitness-related content, go to my fitness channel over at YouTube at Fit Friends. Doon ako gumagawa ng lahat ng content ko about fitness. So if you're into that, check it out. Again, guys, kung kagaguhan, Flick Friends, kung kalusugan, Fit Friends, we'll see you there.
Gawa ka ng Batman workout, pre.
Oo, gago. Migo tayo gagawin, men.
I'm pretty sure that's gonna do well. I'm pretty sure that's gonna do well.
Putang ina, men.
Yeah,
Tapos pagawa mo
try it,
sa amin
man.
ni Watch, putang ina, men.
Yun.
That's gonna be a better video. We need to do that.
Gago, men. Tapos buhay ko dun, pre. Pero,
Ang tawag sa video, Batman Training Camp. Tapos tutorial.
Yeah.
yeah, sama dun, gago. Pero masaya yun. Pero yun na, mga pre. Maraming salamat sa mag-tune in sa episode 50 namin. Grabe, 2 weeks lang. 1 year na tayo, pre. 1 year na natin ginagawa to, katarantaduhan na to. Isipin mo yun, ang saya. Pero maraming salamat mga tropa natin na nanood. Again, sa episode 50 namin ng Tambayang Talong, sobrang na-appreciate namin kayong lahat. Tsaka, Aring JM, puta, sobrang maraming salamat din sa oras. Sobrang na-enjoy namin tong usapan.
Happy 50th episode, pre. And 19 episodes na malapit na yung 69.
Oh, yun na. Yun na nga sinasabi ko eh. Pampamalupit na, magpapakita kami ng gold tab na sa episode 69. Pero yun na mga tol, kung gusto niyo ako mahanap, meron akong page yung fb.gg/I'mEvanders. Kung saan gumagawa ako ng iba't ibang content about gaming, mostly mga single player, story-driven single player games sinalaro ko doon. Pero, kasi wala tayong budget. Maglalaro tayo ng Valorant sa stream ko sa susunod. Ba, pre, ang mahal ng laro, putang ina, 3.5 gago.
Elden Ring!
Elden Ring nga.
Elden Ring.
Gusto ko laro yung Elden Ring. Hindi ako masyado naglalaro ng mga Soulsborne games. Pero isa sa mga nakapila ko yung laro sa Evanders. Pero yun na nga mga tol. Nagsistream ako usually MWF pero nagbabago-bago yan. Kaya mag-notify na lang kayo dun sa page. At the same time, gumagawa ako ng copyright-free music para sa mga content creators. Meron nilabas na akong 2 sa Spotify ko. So make sure na check out niyo yung Gulaman and Binibini sa Spotify. Search lang Evanders. Libreng-libre nyo gamitin yan sa content nyo. Pampatulog man yan, pang-aral man yan, pang-streaming man yan, o panggawa nyo ng YouTube videos. Kahit panggawa nyo ng anak, putang ina, pwede yung yung music ko. So check out nyo na lang yan. Libreng-libre nyo yan gamitin sa Spotify, pare.
Alright, and for me naman at Watch, maraming salamat, JM. Again, sinamahan mo kami dito. Na-enjoy namin yung talk na to. Hopefully sa mga susunod na episodes, makasama ka rin namin ulit. And also to our other TGANGs who joined us at sa mga star givers natin tonight, maraming salamat for supporting our stream. So keep on supporting us. 2 weeks na lang, meron 1 year anniversary namin, the 19 episodes, ipapakita namin sa inyo ang pinaka-golden gold tab namin. Kaya guys, konting antay na lang, lalabas na ang aming gold tab, episode 69. Guys, you can follow me on Instagram, it's at KGKawachi. On TikTok, it's at KGKawachi2. And here, on my page here, Watch, and my other page, which is Gio Kawachi, doon naman, naglalagay tayo ng mga other contents na naiisip natin ilagay. At the same time, also, guys, watch out for my stream. Hindi ako pag-stream this week kasi medyo nagkaroon kami ng family vacation, so I'm out this week. But this coming week, I'm trying to stream again on Tuesday, on Thursday, and Saturday or Friday. So guys, kita-kits tayo sa aking stream. Ang next stream ko would definitely, again, baka magsama kami ni paring Ivan, Valorant, kasi madami kami budget. So, mag-Valorant, grind kami. So, we'll see. Hopefully, umangat na yung aming level sa rank. So, right na nasa gold kami. So, hopefully, after this few streams, umakit na kami sa gold 2.
Gold tab. Road to gold tab eh. Putang ina eh.
Gold lang. Either gold 2 or gold tab lang naman yun. So good guys. Well, that's it for us here in Tambayang Talong. Stay safe. Have a great weekend. Kita-kits tayo next week. And yeah, enjoy your evening guys. Bye.
Bye, mga pre!